on this map. They were able to come back and win it. The first Protect, though, coming out of Colchan, it's Afterburner, which is quite interesting for me on a map like this.
Yeah, and H2K is a team that likes to do some interesting stuff in the ban and protect. Would not be shocked if you see them get rid of the Scythe. They like to get rid of the Scythe because it forces teams to use an Annihilator, and Fear is one of the better Annihilator players we have. And see right there, you want to use Afterburner? That's great. You're not going to be able to use anything else with it.
Exactly. You make sure you target them right away. Now, what I'll be interested in is, do they continue to leave Overclock in? No. All right, so TSM recognizes they ban out Overclock right away, makes that choice much easier for them. It's not a, hey, do we have to go with Afterburner, or do we have to kind of just go with Overclock, and now we wasted our first pick. There you can see.
Yeah, they kind of do. And I think it also kind of opens up the potential to see maybe like a perk 3 greed ban, because what'll happen now is you'll have a lot of players just run Afterburner, and it opens the bottom slot. Your perks, obviously, in your creative class, you'll have enough to go perk 3 greed and Tac Mask, Blast Suppressor. You get rid of that, option for TSM.
Yeah.
Forces them to go Blast Suppressor probably, and then obviously you can get one of the tacticals to stay in. You're in a good spot, but there's the Scythe ban. That seems to be pretty stock out of H2K at this point.
Yeah, something we've seen from teams is they've gotten comfortable with their bans. First one that comes to mind for FaZe, HC ban right away. Wheat's gonna ban out the stock. Now, a lot of times that's synonymous with kind of targeting AR players, but as of late, the VMP stock has been the big thing that's really shifted the meta the last few weeks.
Yeah, I was talking to Maven a little bit about that during one of our matches last week, that you're seeing almost every VMP now being stock, grip, quick draw on every VMP. And you're going to see Fears get rid of Blast Suppressor there. So it's another option they could have went with without getting rid of perk 3 greed. They have to get rid of Blast Suppressor. So now that you have Afterburner, you're able to obviously, extend those wall runs, get that boost meter back pretty quick.
Absolutely.
But now everybody's going to know where you're at while you're doing it.
I think a pretty reactionary protect and ban phase from H2K, but I think it pays off for both teams. They both got kind of what they wanted in. At the same time, H2K got rid of some things that definitely could have helped TSM through the Specialist Draft. Purifier, well, it's all the rage on a map like Stronghold, especially for that bunker hardpoint. It was actually banned out in the Complexity CLG series.
Something to keep note on and just kind of look at for an overall league standpoint, as I just watched the ban and protect for the Optic versus DT game going on in the primary stream, and we saw them actually get rid of stock in that one as well. So it seems like getting rid of stock might be a new kind of thing in the meta, where teams don't want to deal with stock VMP, don't want to deal with obviously stock on the ARs, and you get rid of stock. And I think a team like Rise is in a perfect position for that, because Octane's an AR player who doesn't play with stock.
Exactly.
I think Formal will be okay with it. I think Fear's a guy who plays a little bit slower with an AR. I don't think it's really going to bother him much. And even Wheats is a guy who's been playing since Call of Duty 4, where they didn't even have.
He'll be all right.
They didn't even have stock. Like stock wasn't even an option. I think he'll be good. Yeah.
I think one thing you mentioned Rise and how it'll work out for them. Octane, first game in the grand finals at UMG South Carolina. They ban out stock on this exact map, which will be something to kind of look for in the next series, because actually, is that a rematch of the grand finals from UMG South Carolina? Rise Luminosity on the same starting map as well. Stronghold Hardpoint, when they banned that out against Octane there, he went 46-21. Went absolutely off.
Octane's a freak.
Oh, he's just an animal. He's an absolute
So
animal.
who do you like in this series? I'm going to go H2K. I've seen H2K play in the last 2 weeks. I casted both their matches last week. I cast them a lot during the Sunday 25K. Big fan of these guys.
Yeah, I think what I really like about this team now is, they all have really a similar mindset, right? They're all good friends in and out of game.
Yeah.
Obviously in that team house together, you see the banter with them on Twitter, which I think is a key aspect of this team. We just talked about Complexity, where they lose another tough match right there. You mentioned how Parasite goes right to Twitter, sick of losing, things like that. H2K, you really don't see that too much with this team. They love to just work as a squad to get better.
Well, Parasite, obviously one of the more dedicated players that we have. The guy, he's so smart that it's definitely got to be frustrating for him, with Complexity losing to teams that they probably should beat. But what I really like about this H2K team, I'm really happy that just in general for Fears and Legal, I feel like they got a little bit of a rough go last year as we're loading into this game. So last year during Advanced Warfare at the beginning, there were some of the better players, right? They're playing with Prophecy, with Ricky and Parasite.
Yeah.
They play pretty well, whatnot. And I feel like nobody wanted to play with them. They were good, and I felt like they could never attract those good teammates to really put around themselves. When they had Parasite and Ricky, they were really good. Then towards the end of the year, it got a little bit rough for them. excited to see them bounce back this year, find 2 players that complement them well, and have some success.
Well, getting into game number 1, you and I both think this is H2K's series to take. Off the start, we're going to be watching the likes of Fierce and Legal. Legal rocking that submachine gun. He's got EMPs ready to go. You can see kind of how the perk 1 grid has affected these players. Both these guys going with the flak jacket perk 1 makes a lot of sense when overclock is banned on out. Fears will push right towards Fire Pit, this power position. He's also got the reflex sight for that little bit of extra range, but on the other side of things, though, he's met by the Shiva of Wheats. Fizzer past one of his own. Already off the start. He's earned an HC already.
The Shiva makes it in, and something I don't know if we even kind of kept track of.
Yeah.
What does rapid fire and high caliber make it through?
I do not believe so. From what I remember, neither of those got on it. Those were 2 of like the staple bands that, or high caliber actually did. Okay.
Yeah,
so
high caliber. I believe one of them did.
Yeah.
So high caliber is going to make it through. It's going to be huge for these AR players not to have stock and to have high caliber. I think you take that trade.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those
my.
things that can help out as Ivy snapshots right down onto Fears there and Fire Pit. Early lead out to TSM. It's a solid start you want to see from them. Now, though, they'll have to try to get this back spawn area to begin to get control of Mansion. Ivy getting it all done right now for his team, currently sitting at 4-1.
He's doing a nice job controlling this top mansion area. Obviously, the next hill going to be in bottom mansion. You're going to see he's going to rotate down as teammates in there, though, picking up some kills. And it's actually H2K getting all of the kills as they swarm inside of mansion, able to take that with ease. And we can talk a little bit about it. Jack, you know, it seems like TSM, they've gone away from using Provine in some of their matches. We've seen them using Ivy now. Have you seen better things out of them with Ivy?
That's kind of the thing, right? Is I feel like I haven't seen too many improvements as of yet. Yes, I still are kind of getting some things in order. Proofy at times didn't play his best, but you knew what role he was playing, right? Ivy now on this team, he's been doing a pretty decent job with the submachine gun, but nothing too crazy. TSM, I still think, a very middle of the pack team, Matt. They kind of deserve to be right now, for me, where they are in the standings.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it just kind of relies on Colchan. Like, even when Proofy was having bad games, they were still winning because Colchan was having great games. Like, yeah. I feel like he's like a huge part of this team where, you know, they need him to go huge positive. They need him to pick up kills around the objective. When he doesn't, I don't care who they have playing in their 4th spot. I don't think they win.
Oh, and that's kind of the story of this team so far.
I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, that's what we've seen so far from TSM in the league right now. You know, everyone kind of right there pulling their own weight. You can see in the slaying department, everyone positive at the moment. There, Ivy and Pac-Man both dropped to even. They're up by about 9 seconds, but now H2K are in control of the hard point momentarily. Wheat's trying to pinch from this backside. Surprised he hasn't used his HC as of yet. There he does finally fall. Hill back over to H2K. Fizzer putting away that Shiva for the moment. He's got kinetic armor ready to use, but he's going to wind up falling. Wow, everyone's getting cleared out.
Yeah, no, Fizzer going to be running double nades in this one. So you see how Lacefield has it as well. They're going to push over towards Snow, trying to get control of this back satellite area, and that's 2 big gunfight wins out of Ivy. He's going to drop, though, at the hands of Fierce. So Fierce back here. Pac-Man has to deal with this player to get control for TSM. Yeah,
Fierce is right next to him, and there's the kill onto Pac-Man. He's got active camo. I believe he did use it there to get that kill.
And that's a perfect use of active camo, right? You want to use it to pick up that 1 or 2 crucial kills that you need, and he doesn't know this player. Oh, he's actually going to turn on, kill this player directly to his right. It's going to be huge to control the spawns for the team.
Yeah, Fears 3 streak right now. Beautiful job, as you can tell. H2K currently have spawn positioning, but beautiful shots from Colchan to take him down. Now Ivy flooding out of bottom mansion. A 2-piece from Lacefield. He'll try to go for some of his own. Shaky shots to say the least, as he doesn't actually get a single kill. H2K back within 10. They'll EMP check bottom mansion. That hits nobody, so Lacefield knows, hey, they've got to be pushing from other areas, and you can see they shut down the push from middle map, from back Snow, and now from top mansion.
You're seeing
control
back
to
a lot of Man of War use during this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it comes down to is it's just such a great up-close weapon, right? Where, you know, at times the M8, you kind of have to utilize the strafe function with, say, stock to get those kills. The Man of War, you just kind of fire and pray.
And I love it with high caliber as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can feel the difference in its power, right? When that attachment is up.
Yeah, because the Man of War, it's just kind of like natural recoil, just kind of goes up like towards the head, obviously.
Oh
and,
yeah.
You're actually going to see Kolchan pop that kinetic armor as teammates are dying on both sides of the hill. So it's going to have to go big try and control his first team. But you see the Tempest coming in from a teammate. They're actually able to pick up 2, so actually gets a 3rd with it as well. You're going to see Wheat going huge with the Tempest. Love that we're seeing more Tempest use in CWL.
Oh, the headshot when they get making 2 more. Wheat
and
now
look,
fully
those are chaining.
out.
That just chained.
And it's chaining. It's not only a great specialist weapon, but it's a zoning tool as well. Wheats with that Man of War up close, exactly what I was talking about, why it's so lethal, even without stock from that range. Finally, it does look like H2K have been able to at least muscle down the first line of defense, but because TSM have the high spawns, they're still here to defend. Wheat 17 and 11, a big reason why his team is now up by 45 seconds after the first rotation.
And you just see the damage that the Tempest can cause, right? When you knock down shots with it,
Yep.
you know, when players are trying to go into those small choke points, it just takes them out with that chaining effect. And you're going to see he's going to use that Hellstorm missile here, trying to open up that middle of the map. And it's H2K picking up 3 kills. They're able to control it, but not for long. You're going to see Lacefield fly in. Now you're going to see the HC come out from him. It's going to go over towards half wall. He's going to be able to get one with it, but H2K starting to mount a little bit of a comeback here, and you got to be worried if you're TSM. You played like a picture-perfect first half. H2K didn't play that well. You see another HC kill coming in from Lacefield.
5 streak.
And you have streaks. If you're not able to put this one away, you got to question if you're TSM. Like, if you can't win this game, what game are you going to win?
Oh, exactly. And right there, that's actually a major kill coming out of TSM because Lacefield, if he gets that one, not only earns his Lightning, but his Hellstorm as well. Finally, though, he does get cut down. Now, Matt, I will point out, we saw how many players on this H2K team currently are using Danger Close. Multiple, right?
Oh, you're just seeing tons of nades going into the kill.
Any team with Fizzerp, you expect them to utilize nades to their advantage. Very useful on a map like Stronghold, as Ivy gets another crucial 2-piece. Yes, he's only 16 to 19, Matt, but that's the 2nd or 3rd time now where on rotation, he's gotten the first 2 kills of the hardpoint, and it's helped TSM lock down the top.
And once a player gets these couches, it's so hard to just run in through that side mansion and fight that player. You see the guys on H2K just trying to nade out bar, but there's nobody playing at bar. They can't even be focused on that right now. They need to get to top mansion and try and flood him from the stairs. It's exactly what looks like it's going to happen, but he's going to pick up full streaks as well. You got to believe this one is one that TSM should run away with. Yeah,
H2K, yes, they finally break the hard point. Now, you kind of mentioned how it's so tough to break that hill when there's someone sitting couches. Typically, you have an AR with stock who pushes towards grill, strafes back and forth, gets the kill over time as the submachine gun fails to match it in range. Here, no stock, much easier to land those shots when the AR player is near stationary. When aimed down sights, H2K still down by about 50 seconds. Streaks still being called in by TSM. Legal having to pick up his bunker side of the map. Here comes another lightning strike that's coming down from Ivy. This time, H2K dropped 3 dead. 2 more kills in favor of TSM, and they've regained control of the hard point, looking like a very solid game number 1 from Team SoloMid, as everything's going right for this team at the moment, Matt. Oh, Lacefield, though, with a 3-piece Hellstorm.
That's a huge 3-piece right there. If H2K can get back and control a hill, which they do, you know, still a ton of time left in this game.
Yeah, very winnable.
Yo,
absolutely
extremely winnable. And now let's just go through TSM. Have they burnt all their streaks at this point? So they have no utility.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they have a kinetic armor, and they're
it.
close to another Tempest, but no streaks at all.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of works out for them that they don't have specialists ready here because they're going to save them anyway for that kind of bunker hard point. They will get these last 10 seconds of scrap time unless Lacefield somehow shoots the player in the back right here, which is exactly what he's going to do.
And they're going to try and push through.
Break. He's going to try to spot for more, and oh, kinetic armor actually gets popped there. He'll have to throw out the EMP, gets the help of Legal. And now H2K will have to try to break this hard point from the satellite side.
They have the back spawns, though, and you're going to see Fears picking up one, Legal with another. They should be able to just flood into this hill. And now you're going to see, actually, it's going to be a streak use. Lacefield takes out a teammate. Bad use, obviously, of a lightning strike there, but look at this. You're going to have Fears come up behind, too. It's a 4 dead in favor of H2K, and they are spawning as far as you possibly can now,
They recognize with 35 seconds still left in this hard point. I mean,
they got to challenge at least once.
Yeah, at least one more time. Kills being traded so far. There's 3 dead again.
That kill feed to me, Jack, does not look like trading. That looks all
the first
all
one.
green in favor of H2K. You're going to see Fizzard win a gunfight. Top mansion. The rotation battles is huge right now. If they're able to get control of bunker,
what a heat wave.
This is when they can win. Huge heat wave. Now you're going to see Legal wait because he has that purifier out, but it looks like he's going to get pinched. He actually has Pac-Man coming behind him.
He can't get the kill!
Oh, Fears saves Legal's life. This could be huge. Now they have the purifier to use. You imagine they're gonna lead it with an HC.
He's gonna follow it on up.
And then he's gonna follow it on in. He's not able to get anybody with it though. do we have any more weapons on the side of H2K to be used?
Well, the Purifier's now been brought out by Pac-Man, but he dies as well. H2K's side of things, not even remotely close to a specialist outside of kinetic armor. Still within 30. Definitely still a winnable game. These nades will be crucial on breaking this hard point. So far, they haven't connected with one as of yet, but Pac-Man somehow snuck below that bottom wall area. TSM get the break, and they can end it right here,
that's
Matt.
just poor communication by H2K. Pac-Man just gets in that corner. He's able to stay alive forever, and you see the Tempest shots coming in from Weeds. He's able to connect with 2.
That's it. That's it.
And this
GG.
is it. It's going to be TSM. Shocking probably a lot of people, winning game 1 here against H2K. So this is not, you know what, either of us would have predicted.
No, that's the start that you need, though.
Big game 1 win.
If you're TSM, an interesting ban and protect phase. High caliber sneaks on through. The Shiva makes it in as well. Not too much of an impact, though, as really the difference for me on this map was the likes of Ivy, who twice, maybe even 3 times on rotation, got the first 2 kills he needed on the hard point. And then TSM were able to get, what, 20, 30+ seconds each time that happened? Crazy stuff from Ivy that game.
For me, it was Wheats just locking down Bunker, right? You know, the first time with the Tempest doing a great job, just hitting those shots. And the second time, picking up some big kills as well. Pac-Man at the end is also, you know, he was able to just stay alive in that corner in Bunker, and he's able to hold down that hill for TSM. If he doesn't make that play, they probably lose that one.
Both Purifiers didn't do anything on that final rotation, but hey, it worked out in the end for TSM. Both times they played Bunker, they held the topside spawns, and the Tempest was perfectly used by Wheats. I mean, he must have gotten 6, maybe 7 Tempest kills that game.
Without doubt.
You can't ask for much more. Here's your after-action report to look at it momentarily to really spot the standout players. 1 minute and 40 seconds in the hard point, 11 defends, 31 and 23 from Lacefield in a losing effort. On the other side of things, TSM, what? Almost every single player is negative or even, and they still win the game by a pretty big scoreline. And the biggest difference for me, Matt, look at Fierce time in Hill. 9 seconds. On the other side of things, everyone over 1 minute and 10 seconds. A more well-rounded effort from TSM.
Yeah, much, well, more balanced effort from TSM. Although you saw, you know, Fizzerp go positive, Lacefield goes positive, Fierce as well. It was just those situational gunfights that TSM was able to win. You know, the guys like Wheats able to win gunfights in the hill and around, you know, those rotational battles. So he was able to win those. And then Ivy, time and time again, in the hill, able to pick up some big wins.
And we were talking about, you know, how impressive, how's he been so far on TSM? If he's making plays like that with a submachine gun,
then you're in good shape.
Yeah,
we just haven't seen that. We haven't seen that up until that point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, up until that point, you know, you've seen Wheats play really well with the AR, but you haven't really seen a huge, you know, bump in performance of the overall team with Ivy instead of Proofy. You just haven't. But that game right there, it's definitely why you want somebody like Ivy on your team.
Hey, it all worked out for TSM there. H2K falling short. Lacefield, I think, was doing the best with his nades. We saw a lot of times when he was playing in the hardpoint middle, he would just continue to use danger close to throw them at half wall to keep killing the AR player. He did it, I believe, like 4 times that game. Went on a 5 streak, but hey, a big kind of momentum swing for me too. Came in when he was 1 kill off of getting those streaks. Didn't have them for the likes of that half wall hard point and for the satellite hill.
Because they had another player get streaks. Well, Lacefield got his lightning eventually.
Lacefield wound up getting his lightning and then only killed Fizzerp.
Right, but if he would have gotten them a little bit earlier,
could have had more of an impact.
Right. So I believe the second match going to be Infection, S&D.
Yep.
Correct?
Infection, Search, and Destroy.
This is when you'll definitely see Koljan with the sniper in hand, unless we see some action with it in the Ban and Protect. I don't think H2K really has a sniper. I mean, Fizzerp, we've seen him toy with a sniper time and time, but not too often, and players just getting on their respective teams should jump right into this one.
What's going to really interest me in this one is that ban and protect phase again. How does it wind up going in? Do we see an overkill ban right away, which is so popular from teams who just want to get that off the table, make sure nobody can kind of mess around with having a submachine gun in their back pocket? Also, key things for me is going to be that B Street. Who can really win those long-range gunfights with the M8, get those crucial kills to open up that side of the map for your team?
You get rid of overkill. Do you got to get rid of the MR6 now?
Oh, I mean, we saw it was in play. Fizzerp loves using it. If you're H2K, we've seen how lethal
something you got to think about.
I think if I'm TSM, I ban out the MR6 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but then you figure TSM, they want to ban the thermal. They go thermal all the time. Then you're going to have to get rid of the MR6 if overkill goes as well. And then what? Your last 2 would probably be, you know, either the tacticals or the high caliber rapid fire.
Yeah.
I think that just opens up the door for H2K to just kind of take advantage and get rid of a lot of other utility.
It's the tough thing we've seen in the ban and protect phase so far in Black Ops 3 where sometimes you just got to bite the bullet on a certain attachment or perk that you don't want to have in play. Also, on a map like this, do we see a trophy ban even? You know how good
Potential.
You know how good Fizzerp is with the spawn nades. He swaps to frags for search and destroy. I have seen some nasty nade spots on a map like Infection towards either the opposing team's front tank, down B Street, on the top island rock. If there's a player who's going to know him, it's going to be Fizzerp.
I mean, right, you get rid of that trophies, you get rid of perk 1 greed, it makes it a lot tougher for somebody to pick, right?
Absolutely.
And then you try and leave overclock in and then give them even more choices. That more chance, obviously, if you... Well, that's like the thing, right? If you ban perk 1 greed, it sounds weird, we can go in the ban and protect, but you might as well protect overclock, because then it gives you just a better chance that player not to have flak.
Yeah. Anything along those lines to make nades stronger is what you expect your team to use. Lacefield will ban the SVG right off the bat. Also, the Shiva not making it in. That's a targeted ban at Fizzerp. Definitely makes sense from TSM. Now, you mentioned how TSM would be the ones to ban Thermal. H2K do it for him. No real
which is
surprises
weird because Colt Chan is one of the snipers that doesn't use Thermal. So if you're H2K, you got to study TSM a little bit, know that they're going to get rid of that and not waste one of your own on it.
Well, through the rest of this one, you got kinetic armor from Pac-Man, rapid fire. Banned last game, banned again here. Last game we saw High Caliber make it through. Does Legal elect to go towards that attachment? Also, all tacticals remaining at the moment. A lot of things.
Well, if you're H2K, you want to leave the tacticals in. You see High Caliber go.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart one from Legal. These last two, it's really kind of up in the air. We could see stock again.
Okay.
Either of these teams, I wouldn't be surprised to see some other type of attachment, maybe something like grip. We've seen H2K a few times get rid of the VMP, force teams to use the Kuda.
Yeah.
Could be an M8 on the side of TSM, take it out of Fears' hands and Fizzerp, make them use another gun. That's obviously not the Shiva. You're going to see Overclock go. It's kind of a safe play from Ivy, and then Fears is going to get rid of Blast Suppressor yet again. So no Blast Suppressor on the side of TSM.
Now,
and H2K.
What's funny is I like that ban a lot, actually, banning out Blast Suppressor, because it got to a point where all tacticals were still in play. You ban Blast Suppressor, and now you rock perk 3 greed. You use Tac Mask, and you wind up using the likes of Dead Silence.
Yeah.
So now, hey, I push down B Street. I have my Tac Mask ready for when those concussions and flashbangs fly on in. Through now the Specialist draft.
So does it not really help anyone then?
It's more of like a negate. It's more of like a... It's just out, right? It makes the decision easy for players. Now, though, if you don't use perk 3 greed, you got to kind of decide what you want to go with. A lot of times we've seen players who will elect to go maybe with just Dead Silence and move to not use their Blast Suppressor at all. A lot of times we'll see players go with maybe just Blast Suppressor, where then they have to be careful of their kind of movement with Dead Silence, because it's much tougher to get a Ninja Defuse and those likes. Parasite's been very vocal about that. If you don't have Dead Silence on, you can't expect to get a Ninja at any time. Psychosis on the side of TSM, Vision Pulse from Fears. Overdrive on both teams, very useful for timings near middle map and B Street. You can kind of tell at times with Overdrive on this map, if your team continues to lose B Street battles, you just say, go for it.
Yeah.
Rock a sub. If you're comfortable with your AR, stock does make it through, so you can definitely use it here. You flood right up B Street and just force the first blood. Just make it happen.
You say make it happen. You still got to win the gunfight.
Oh, you do, but
still got to win the gunfight.
The timing of Overdrive on a map like this, players will try to go towards top rock. You pop that Overdrive, they're not expecting it if it's kind of in a different round.
No, you can definitely pick somebody off pretty easy. Yeah, you can get it. I don't want to say it. Yeah, it's as close to a free kill as you possibly could get. Camo, obviously, on both sides. You got Vision Pulse for Psychosis. I'm a big fan of Vision Pulse over Psychosis. I don't think Psychosis is a big player in Search and Destroy. Yeah,
I think Psychosis is still one for me that I'm not sold on it. I'm really not sold on it, especially down to, hey, someone uses an HC, Psychosis is popped. You still see, what bot is the fake ones and the real one. It's small things like that
and even
that can make it better and worse.
Pushing down B Street with Psychosis, I mean, you can clearly tell which the drones are.
Yeah.
It's good to kind of throw people's aim off a little bit, but I don't know if it makes as big of an impact as something like Vision Pulse.
There's enough cover where, a lot of times you see when Psychosis gets pushed down that B Street, teams just shoot them. They just shoot the clones because you're hiding. They push through. once they're destroyed, it's like, okay, that was the psychosis.
Yeah, it just kind of, yeah, nothing really comes out of it.
That was all.
Nah, obviously Heatwave on both teams. Heatwave, one of the more powerful abilities in S&D. I'm surprised we don't see Heatwave banned at all. I mean, we see Kinetic go. I'm surprised we don't see Heatwave go at all.
We've seen it sometimes targeted against the likes of FaZe. Even actually FaZe have just banned it themselves because Enable's comfortable enough to go to a different specialist. Wondering, though, who takes this one home? Obviously, if you are just tuning in, TSM win map 1, 250 to 200.
Yeah.
Neither of us were expecting them to take the hard point. Well, now H2K, they're going into really probably their best game mode in regards to search and destroy. Must-win map for me here for TSM. They want to avoid going down 0-2 against a team like TSM, where, you know, hey, they're both one standings slot above each other right now in the overall standings. Both these teams still have to fight to get out of relegation.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the H2K is not there yet. I mean, they lose this match, something that neither of us or, you know, Maven or Revan actually kind of even predicted, but they lose this match. They're actually back in trouble.
Yep. 4 ARs from TSM down B Street. You can see the pressure into B site out of Fizzerp. He's playing with the Kuda. He's got his Danger Close Semtex. He's ready to go. He's going to spot one player, and this should kind of be the, hey, we got to be careful. Here comes the push. Did he stick that player on the left? It doesn't appear so.
No,
Yes,
he did.
He did stick Pac-Man. First blood over to H2K. Beautiful positioning from Fizzerp. What a nuisance he's being right now, and he gets out with his life. Monster plays from Fizzerp. Ivy does trade one back out, though, so now it's a 3v3, and just like that, Wheats is last alive as there's a beautiful coordinated pinch down B Street from the likes of H2K.
Oh, he actually loses where Fierce went. He had no idea where Fierce was. Now, Fizzerp able to stay on the bomb site for so long, and for him not to actually take him out, for him to actually make it out of there alive, huge play by Fizzerp. I mean, Ivy's able to come in and pick up one, but it just huge play in that round by Fizzerp.
Yeah, that was really nice to see. You could kind of spot how those Danger Close Semtexes let him play a little bit more kind of an aggressive style on that site where he could continue peeking, because he knew if there's a Semtex there, they're not going to be staring at me. They've got to run away for their life. He was getting a ton of information, and the stick on a Pac-Man on top of that was just the icing on the cake. H2K electing to use smokes, and what is it again, Matt? It's the nades from Fizzerp. First blood on Pac-Man. The second round already in this game. I mentioned prior to this one starting up, Fizzerp knows those nade spots, and it pays off there as H2K.
And how many players from TSM are running Flak? So you have it on Ivy. Let's see.
Wheats, no.
No.
Colchan,
no.
So one player, and Pac-Man definitely didn't have it on as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's just not knowing your opponent.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you know, I mean, how many years have these guys been playing against each other? You know Fizzerp loves nades. You know he's going to come out and toss a ton of nades at you, and to not have Flak on in a game like this.
Ivy doing what he can to get the second kill. He's got the help of Wheats, and just like that now, it's Fizzerp in the 1v3. He gets taken down. The bomb was planted, but it's not enough. The defuse will come in from Wheats. He's earned himself an HC, and he's, well, already about 3/4 of the way to Heatwave. Solid start from him. As TSM, they're able to tie it up 1-1.
Obviously, he's able to get those streaks.
Yep.
Be huge on this map.
Oh, yeah. This map, you just force your play style around the use of streaks, right? Like, you make sure that the only option they have is to go near B Street. Maybe on a round on offense.
Interesting with the RK5 in that you're not with the MR6 in, you're seeing the RK5.
Hey, even with the MR6 at times, players still have their personal preference. At times, you'll see Formal still go with just the L car. You'll see, you know, the likes of Sender who will still rock the RK5. Off the start of this one, though, if you're on defense and you have these streaks, right, you play near middle map, you play towards A, you force your opponent's hand at B Street, and then you streak them down. They've either got to go into B site or fall all the way back and lose all their map positioning. That hasn't come into play as of yet. The player to watch will be Wheats to see if he can earn that dart. They've got trophies ready to go. Very similar setup to that first defensive round from H2K with Fizzerp, the Lone Ranger, inside this B site.
Yeah, they're playing really slow, probably trying to bait players out, get them playing a little bit over-aggressive as you see Fizzerp still playing inside B here. You see the HC come in, he's going to be able to live through it. He's going to get out.
Pretty good.
Barely able to get out. Now you should see TSM starting to push in that B site.
Just such nice nades from Fizzerp. That gives him full peace of mind to know, hey, they're not on bomb yet. We don't even have to peek it. You can see Fears is the one who's just kind of poking his head in. They know the bomb might be getting planted as of now. Expect Fears to slide on in with the help of Fizzerp. Let's see what Fizzerp winds up doing with this Kuda. They get kills traded on in. Bomb site control. Back over to H2K. And oh my god, Fizzerp's Who's going to wind up popping this one? They've
This
got
is
Ivy.
such a smart
Who's
play.
going to wind up trying to peek? He gets one.
This is such a smart play.
He doesn't check the bomb at all, and Fizzerp just diffuses it. Look at that.
That is such a smart play there from
Yep.
Fizzerp. You can see why he's such a talented S&D player, why I know throughout all the Call of Duties, S&D has been his specialty. Just knows when to make those big plays right on top of the bomb there. His teammates just jump out and push, and nobody checks it from
Yep.
TSM. Looked like Wheats was trying to flank all the way through middle, but he just doesn't have enough time.
Well, what wound up happening was Wheats got a kill into middle map and immediately booked it and sprinted towards green hallway. I think H2K called out that Wheats was falling back the street. They used kind of the last second of that kill cam to see where he was going. And, you know, they took the risk, and it paid off. Fizzerp with the Ninja Defuse. Fantastic game from him so far. He's only 2-1, but look at these nade spots, Matt. Weakens the player twice with Flak Jacket. They know exactly where he's at, and it looks like they're going to push the agenda up here. Fizzerp peeking momentarily. He'll just continue to stay alive. He's got Lacefield for help as well. Through the first 30 seconds of this round,
Kind of odd that player top rock doesn't challenge. Usually we see if the player top rock sees somebody on the other side putting down some shots on the players in the back, they'll jump out and challenge that right away, but you don't. Now you're going to see an HC try and come in. Pac-Man throwing down some wild shots here. He's going to jump up. He's going to get taken out by Lacefield, so it's going to be first blood going in favor of H2K, and I think Lacefield actually spotted Wheats here down on the bottom, but Wheats and Ivy both picking up kills. Not a fan of that, and he burns his heat wave as well. Not great there out of Wheats.
Yeah, you can see overdrive ready from Fizzerp. Lacefield about to earn himself heat wave. The big flank throw coming out of the guy who's fully streaked right now. Ivy currently sitting at 6-1 on a 5 streak. Make it 6 there to close out the round. Ivy, you're the MVP of the series so far for Team SoloMid, as they're now tied 2-2 in Game 2. Here's a look from his perspective on how he closed things out. 7-1, 2 more kills than the entire rest of his team combined.
He's been on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the first map, right? It's kind of funny we talked about. I know Ivy has made much of a big difference in that switch from Ivy, from Proofy to Ivy.
Yep.
And he is definitely proven us strong in this series.
Now, I don't think you use streaks here. I think you might pop Psychosis to try to force something to happen, but I don't think you use streaks on offense right now. You've got a guy peeking top rock. Fizzerp does get first blood onto Kolchan. Ivy, look who it is, trades him back out, 7 streak. He'll rotate on back towards A, and just like that, they've kind of forced the full rotation out of H2K, but TSM are more than happy to go try to plant this bomb near A.
He needs to save these streaks, Jack, because I feel like this game's going to be pretty close. I mean, obviously, 2-2 rounds right now, but it's not like in the rounds that teams are winning, they're just kind of steamrolling the other. You see Pac-Man should have, I was going to say, should have an easy kill there. You got to hit those shots.
Oh, exactly. You can't afford to miss the first burst, especially when you're pre-aiming that corner. A lot of times you'll see players aim so close that they don't give themselves a little bit of kind of leeway on the shot, right? Where the player goes all the way out like that, they fast peek with a sub. You miss that first burst, he winds up getting away.
I mean, he had great positioning. He had first shot.
He's going to slide out. Did he see the player? Did he see him?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's got Lacefield there to help out
I mean,
as well.
Lacefield's there to kill them all. It doesn't matter, but it's going to have one player over by the B stairs, and Fear is able to finish him off. I got to imagine that Fear's calling that out.
Yeah, I would assume that. Either way, they had Lacefield sitting inside Barn, who cleaned up both with ease. He's kind of been the guy who's been rotating back between both A and B, getting the job done. There's your final kill cam from Fears. You know, Legal still dropping that donut right now at 0-4, but his team is up 3-2. You know you have Fears, Lacefield, and Fizzerp go, hey, you know, battle back. We know what you're capable of. Don't go on tilt. We're still up in this game. If Legal begins to pull the weight that we know he can, you expect H2K to run away with this one, as they're going to begin to slowly peek towards middle map. Beautiful positioning from Legal to tag up one player. That should be an easy second kill. Solid start to this round, as it's a 4v2 number advantage in favor of H2K.
Just look at the smokes in the middle of the map. That TSM has absolutely no idea where H2K is, and you know they smoke off actually that they're going over towards A, and they go hit that B bomb site. Should be able to get that bomb down, but Wheats makes it pretty interesting, picking up one. Fizzerp able to take him out from around the corner, though. Wheats just peeked a little bit too far. It's going to be all up to Kolchan here for TSM in a 3v1. H2K trying to put themselves in a pretty good position to take this map.
That's a beautiful
They're
spot.
going to finish that off, yeah.
Love that position that Legal just played. He gets to spot the player on the wall run. You'll see it from his perspective, just playing that angle. The second he sees his arm start moving, boom! He knows he's there before the player can even spot him. All right, 4-2. H2K beginning to run away with this one. Legal got 2 kills on the board that round. They're making it look easy at the moment, as it's really just Ivy pulling majority of the weight for TSM. this really, for me, is an offensive round where I think you need to start to kind of
You got to consider
use
You got to
streaks.
consider using one.
Yep.
I think if you use one and you're able to get a man advantage, I don't think you use the second.
No, I think if anything, you wind up doing something like a ping of a lightning, right? Where you spot a player, you call out where they are, nades coming on in, Fizzerp's just going to tag one up, and he's played the spot the entire game. A streak is being called in at the moment from Ivy. That is going to be the Hellstorm that connects with zero. Zero people were hit by that Hellstorm. The flank coming in from Pac-Man, though, and beautiful positioning from Pac-Man to give the numbers over to TSM. Ivy will begin to plant this bomb. He also has Psychosis.
There's one player that's actually going to slide in and use Heat Wave, and that's going to be Lacefield, and you're going to see he's going to be able to pick up 2. So the bomb's going to go down. It's going to be Colchan, the last one alive. Look at how aggressive Lacefield's playing this. He shoots that player back. They should just get on bomb. Oh, now he drops. If he's able to stay alive, figure they just get on bomb right away, and Legal's going to have to chase it.
Can't get away. He
And
mantled.
Colchan, oh.
He mantled.
And that's huge. They win a round where Ivy uses one of the streaks.
He uses one
Huge
of the streaks.
win for H2K.
And they lose a round, and now look in your bottom right. Dart, HC, and 1 kill away from the Lightning. Who did I call out earlier? Legal when it was 3-2. Now he gets 2 kills each round in the last 2 rounds to go to 4-4. Actually, second highest score on his team as well. Way to turn around Legal as H2K are about to take map 2 to tie the series up 1-1, Matt.
This would be a huge win for H2K, and this would be one where, you know, if you are TSM, you got to kind of figure what went wrong. I mean, you had a guy go massive. He's 9-4 at this moment in time, had full streaks, and he had full streaks when it was 2-2.
Yep, and they haven't been able to do anything with it as of yet. Lacefield.
And I'm surprised H2K playing slow, because they have to know that there's still another streak on Ivy.
Man of War on Pac-Man. Going to be tough to pick a player out of the top window. Lightning getting dropped down.
They're not going to get anybody.
Not
it's
gonna
actually
get
going to be
a single
Fizzerp actually able to take out Weeds during that.
That is just the most frustrating use of streaks in an S&D. Doesn't do anything for TSM. They'll begin to execute towards the B street of H2K. The darts flying around inside of B. Matt, I got a feeling this one is over. H2K just picking Team SoloMid apart. The silver lining here, right, is that somehow Colchan has found his way through middle map around the player watching the flanks. They have no idea that he's over here. Ivy should be able to get 1 kill. He does. Traded right out by Fizzerp. Colchan last alive in a 1v3, and oh, some shaky shots. They know where he's at.
This is over. This is over. H2K, barring something crazy happening, should be able to take this second map. You're going to see Colchan. He's going to be able to get 1.
Okay.
Still a ton of time. 35 seconds left. As long as H2K
hey,
just
if he gets
plays
one more kill,
smart.
if he gets 1 more kill, he has active camo. But time is ticking. You've also got a player sitting all the way near the A site. Colchan gonna slowly peek towards this B area. No. Lacefield hits him with the RK5, and that's a game win for H2K as they tie the series up 1-1. Here's that final kill cam from Lacefield yet again, making it look
TSM
easy.
gave that one away, Jack.
Yeah?
I love H2K. I think they did a tremendous job taking this search and destroy. But this is one tied 2 rounds. You have a guy with full streaks. You've got to win this map.
I think I think the big thing is you mentioned how they threw it away. Against a team like H2K, they will make sure they make the most of those mistakes, right?
Yeah.
TSM, you know, they start to falter a little bit here. They're not reacting to some of this. Like, did TSM react to how Fizzer played outside of the one? There was one round where they had Pac-Man flank, but because Pac-Man went around that full flank, they just counter-traded after he got 2 kills. Yeah. TSM, they did not know how to counter that Fizzer defensive play on the B site. And you were getting a little bit frustrated during that game. I could just tell by how you were talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, you get a great game out of Ivy. You get full streaks in the first, 2 rounds. That's a game you should be able to put away. He gets what? He gets nobody with the Hellstorm and nobody with the Lightning, right?
Nobody with the Hellstorm, nobody with the Lightning.
And he doesn't kill anybody with an HC.
The HC just tagged Fizzer, which made him back up. But then if you remember,
they still lost the round.
If you think of think of the specialists that game too, as we can take a look at the after action report. You think of the specialists, really I didn't see anything too crazy from TSM. On the other side of things, when there was a number advantage, 3v2 for H2K, you had Lacefield who slid into B, popped that heat wave for the 2-piece as they closed out that round. Small examples of that where H2K were just able to swing rounds back into their favor. They kept their composure. Major shout out to Legal. He started out 0-4, finishes the game 5-4. Big reason why. You got that H2K team you can win first straight rounds.
Fizzerp doing a good job on the defensive side of things inside the B site.
Yep.
And then, Lacefield all game long really brought it.
Absolutely. Lacefield having a monster series so far. He was leading and slaying in game 1, most positive in the lobby, I believe. Then game 2, 9-5 again.
The guy's a monster, man.
He absolutely is, and he was a part of the whole, standout players for the first half of Stage 1 that we've seen. One of the guys that came to mind.
Is he the standout player of all of Stage 1 for North America at this point? Like, has his second half of Stage 1 been better than Colchan's?
You could definitely make an argument for it because as of late, I feel like the kind of Colchan hype trains slowly begun to slow down a little bit.
Well, TSM's performance hasn't been as good,
exactly.
right? I mean, they came out, they shocked a lot of people.
Yep.
They were winning some games. This is a team that a lot of people, I don't even know if they really expect them to be competitive. I thought, Pac-Man's been very good.
Yeah.
Wheats has been very good. Colchan, obviously. And now it seems to kind of just tailed off a little bit, and I think that's kind of why we were probably all like, oh, the hype's kind of not there.
Yeah.
I think Lacefield's been an incredible player all Stage 1.
Yeah, I think what I love about him too is that, he's the guy that is more than willing to be the playmaker right there with Heatwave. No hesitation. He knew he had his teammate watching his back. Even if Lacefield dies on that Heatwave check, there's an AR sitting on mid statue who's just shooting over to that bomb site. He gets the kill no matter what. It's still an efficient trade. It worked out that time that he killed one and then beat down the other because Heatwave is just so lethal. We are getting into the Game 3 lobby. Now, the map will be Evac uplink.
Okay.
And what's interesting for me is we've already seen how highly contested Afterburner has been and Perk 1 Greed has been in this series.
And Blast Suppressor as well.
This is a map where Blast Suppressor and Afterburner are both highly important for those lower wall runs, for catching your opponents off guard. Movement's so key here. Wondering how it's going to affect the Banner Protect phase.
If you're H2K, I think you want to get rid of Afterburner.
Okay.
I don't think you want that in the game. Colchan, Ivy, they both use that movement system really well going on those lower wall runs. I don't want to say that H2K can't, but there are players who play a little bit more traditional. You don't see them doing crazy, things with the movement. They're guys who just aimers. They just want to kill. That's all H2K wants to do. They want to force gun on gun. They want to kill. They want to do it their way, whether it's with the leaving the Shiva in, potentially something with rapid fire, getting rid of VMPs. I mean, H2K just wants to force it into gun on gun.
Yeah, and I think a big thing too is this is actually the map where we started to see the emergence of the VMP stock, the map like Evac, because of those close quarters, the doorways, you can side strafe, peek it so easily, give yourselves that advantage in the close range gunfights. Will we see stock banned again?
See stock on.
Yeah, do we see stock banned or do we see it protected? I feel like it's one that you have to protect if you want it to stay in, if you're the team that wants it, because the other one's probably going to go for the ban.
Do you think it affects one team over another? I don't think it really kind of impacts one team.
I think, honestly, for me, if I'm TSM, I kind of want to keep that in. I want to try to throw off Lacefield as much as possible, who's been having a good game. Maybe
I don't think it bothers him. I don't think it bothers him
at all. It's not necessarily that it doesn't bother him, but we've seen that in game 1 with stock banned out, he dominated the other. He was really doing a great job against the other submachine guns. Ivy was getting 2 pieces, not on Lacefield. Lacefield was the one who was shutting down Ivy through that game.
Yeah.
If I'm Ivy, I'm going, do we want to try to keep that on? Let our ARs do a little bit better against him in the long-range gunfights, stuff like that.
Then you give the stock to a guy like Fears, who's one of the better AR players we have. I think that could cause a lot of problems for TSM as well.
Yeah, it's a balancing act, right? Yeah. It's kind of like, all right, well, if we keep stock in, we need to watch out for this and this, but we gain this off of it because it helps us in this way.
So it's great about the Banner Protect, right?
It's an always changing game. If you look back to where we started in week 1,
it's nothing like what we have now.
So far from where we are. It was Vespers being banned out right away. Yeah. It was, you never saw.
Now we don't see the Vesper banned, and we don't see it hardly used. We'll see it occasionally on Breach Hardpoint, but never really on any of the other maps.
What's funny is we actually casted, when we casted Liquid versus Panda this past weekend, Burns used it, I believe it was Evac Hardpoint, and was shredding with it, going off.
I think I actually caught a little bit of that. It was a Vesper with laser, an extended mag.
Laser, extended mag, and he was just shredding because he was just basically holding right trigger in close range gunfights and going like that and picking up 3 pieces.
Yeah.
But then it came to a point where the opponents began to realize that he was doing it and kind of targeted him a little bit more and more. They kind of expected where he was going to be. They watched out for it. Matt, look what we were talking about. The first 2 bans, Afterburner and stock, right off the table. TSM, we saw, hey, we don't want to have that in yet again in the respawn game modes. They get rid of it, going after a target of the likes of Fears.
And you're going to see Camo go as well. Camo's one that I feel like needs to go
Yeah.
on uplink because it's so hard to kind of kill that player in the middle of the air, right? You don't get that aim assist. It's just very difficult. I'm a big fan of getting camo out of uplink. You're going to see overdrive go as well. I don't know how much overdrive impacts this map because overdrive's great when you got to go like in a straight line. When you're trying to like turn and curve and use the wall running, it's like not as effective.
Yeah.
And you think about where the drone spawns and where you have to bring it. Like you have to curve around so many corners to be able to get it in. Not exactly sure overdrive's a huge player on this one, but see, rapid fire, concussion, overclock. You expect the last one to be high cal. Ooh, so high caliber makes it in yet again.
Blast suppressor is more important for these teams over the likes of high caliber for what? 2 of the 3 games so far this series. Now into the specialist draft, Pac-Man electing to go with that Annihilator. On the other side of things, legal with Vision Pulse. Now, you mentioned overdrive in a map like this, how it's so intricate. I actually like overdrive more than anything, where if you're trying to score on the helipad side, you grab the objective, you pop overdrive, and you rush it towards kitchen. You cut through middle map.
You get in there.
You get that little bit of a timing on the opposing
I think
player.
let's compare this to a map like Fringe.
Yeah.
What is overdrive more important on Fringe uplink or
Exactly.
a game mode like this? I think it's huge on a game mode like Fringe. Let's actually talk about the specialist draft real quick. Didn't really mention it too much. We can stay on this screen for a second, but you're going to have a Scythe on the side of TSM. You're going to have the Annihilator on the side of H2K.
Yep.
Those are going to be the 2 weapons. And then TSM elects to go with just 2 weapons, 2 abilities. They're going to go just Kinetic and Heatwave. And then a team that we usually see goes 2 weapons, 2 abilities, ends up going 3 and 1. So they're going to have a Vision Pulse instead of that Scythe. You like that play or not?
What's funny is I've actually seen the likes of H2K experiment more with 3 weapons and 1 specialist ability more than most other teams. On a map like this, I mean, I've seen teams. We had a team, I believe, I couldn't remember who it is, but a week ago, just go with just 4 abilities. And Revin and I were talking about it a lot here on the secondary stream, where, you know, it was just their decision they went with because active camo, overdrive.
When you see abilities like get banned out more often, obviously weapons going to be more prevalent. But I feel like over the last week or 2, we've seen weapons really make a big impact. People were saying, I know that weapons, they don't make as much impact as an ability. Obviously, it takes a lot longer to get them.
Yeah.
But we've been seeing that weapons over the last week or so have been making huge plays.
I think it's more because the Tempest is being brought out.
Yeah.
I've seen more big plays with the Tempest and even the Purifier over the likes of Scythe and Annihilator more in the last 2 weeks than the rest of the season combined. I mean, we saw, what, a 7-piece from Krim in the 25K with the Purifier where he just flooded out of the hard point. A weapon like Tempest and Purifier have like unlimited potential when you use
You just can't use the Purifier on uplink.
Oh, no,
CTF.
yeah, definitely not in this one.
Really, the Purifier's only great on a hard point.
Yep.
I think in a game mode like uplink, you have a Scythe, you have a Tempest, you have the Annihilator. I'd even say, if you haven't seen it yet, but I think the Sparrow, eventually, we'll see somebody bring it out.
I'm going for my Sparrow hero armor right
and
now
how's that
when I
gone?
play, and I'm
still difficult.
I'm still struggling with the whole leading the shot a little bit more because it's like the one of all of them. It's the one that you really have to kind of aim a little bit ahead of them, let them walk into the bullet more than anything. It's tough, but it's also fun. It's very rewarding specialist because not only can you get the kill with it, but then it explodes. Which
it causes damage as well.
If Flakjack gets out, maybe you try to elect to put
Flakjack
that
gets out when we're playing hardpoint. You figure the War Machine. Well, you got to get rid of trophies as well.
Yeah, so there's so many back and forths with the specialist. Excited to see where this one goes. No Tempest in this game between these 2 teams.
No.
Both going with Annihilator.
And I think Tempest is actually better on uplink than it is on hardpoint. We saw it used really good on hardpoint, but I think when those players are spawning in the controlled areas, like right next to each other on uplink or a game mode like CTF, that you hit one guy off spawn, it kind of just zones out all those other players.
Yeah, I think what's funny for me is I think that Tempest is almost better in everything than the Annihilator at the moment. It just seems like more personal preference for some of these guys, where you've got the likes of Clayster, who, from even the words of his teammates, is terrible with the Annihilator, so he's been rocking the Tempest. One of the best in the game at it so far. The drone already being picked up by H2K. It's Legal who's brought it into bottom laundry. The spawn zone for TSM are right there. They're going to stop him from getting the dunk, but after just 24 seconds, it's H2K up 1-0. Really a flawless start from them as they get on the board first.
Not a great start for TSM. H2K literally just picks up the drone, runs it right in their face, and you see Ivy, he's going to take a grenade to the mouth. It's not going to taste very good, as you see Lacefield able to connect on that one. But drone control, not going either team. It seems like we're just going to kind of trade kills over on the drone side of the map. And you see Annie up coming out of Colchan, so trying to get those kill streaks. You want to use Annie up, I guess, if you're more, I don't want to say like an objective player, but Colchan's going to pick up some kills. There's a chance he's going to have the drone in his hand. You're able to get the points from that and build closer towards those score streaks.
Yeah, we've seen, you know, the HC and uplink can definitely still have its use, right, as that drone's going to fall off the map. If we go back over the Colchan, see what he's actually rocking, because the HC is still in, he spawns in just, what, 300 points away from earning that first score streak. You grab the drone, you dunk it in, you get a kill, you've already earned it. You also add in the fact that Afterburner's banned out. You've got, what, no overclock in the table as well, I believe. I mean, look at right here from Pac-Man. He's putting so many attachments on his Man of War that he's only running fast hands for his perk. Crazy stuff right now as that blast suppressor
what is he running? You gotta think. He's got to be running.
Well, let's look at his weapon.
He's got to be running ELO, Quick Draw, Grip, Stock.
No, Stock is banned.
Oh yeah, Stock is banned. So he's got to be running Quick Draw, Grip, High Caliber. How many bullets did he have in his clip?
I think he has the normal amount.
Has the normal amount. Very interesting. Love to know what he's got on this class.
Yeah, he's going to begin to rotate this one right up in towards Kitchen. Obviously, only one perk there. He decides to run into a wall. It's not going to help him as he tries to push that drone back out. Now, Lacefield has the objective. He's got the help of some teammates as well. The MR6 does make it through again. Not a heavily contested weapon so far this series as the drone is being pushed up. He's going to wait for some lead blockers. There's one kill in his favor. There's the toss. That's going to go on in. 2-0 lead for H2K for the first 2.5 minutes of gameplay.
And it's going to be legal on drone side of the map. He's going to try and lock this down. He's going to see one player going mid, like the fact that he doesn't elect to chase. You're going to see Fizzerp pick that kill up with ease, and now you're going to see H2K should make a play for this drone control as the players on TSM just kind of turtling in their base. You got Colchan running the wrong way. He's going to get taken out. And I think legal. He wanted to go fly around the corner and challenge that player. Just got caught mantling on the AC, but you see Fears in a great spot, just putting down tons of damage on the opposing team.
Now, this is the weapon for this map, Matt. The Man of War on Evac is like the bread and butter gun. It is just so lethal. Players have begun to realize that, and that's why you're seeing such a heavy focus on attachments. Every attachment you put on the Man of War, it's like it goes up a class in like its overall tiers, right, of AR weapons. There, the Vision Pulse gets used, unfortunately, for TSM, or sorry, unfortunately for H2K, they can't get that kill. Thankfully, though, the pass does go on in. 4 dead momentarily for H2K. They still have a 3-0 lead, though, with just a minute and a half remaining on side number 1. Pac-Man in this power position with his God mode Man of War on right now.
I'm a big fan of the Man of War. I mean, even when the game first came out, I thought, this gun shoots a little bit slow, but the damage is so high. You're able to just churn through bullets and take players out at range. And it's interesting. Like I feel like even on Stronghold, we saw a lot of Man of War as opposed to the M8. I mean, obviously, we'll still have players that will gravitate towards the M8, but I think as time goes on, well, one, you probably won't even see the M8 really banned out as much anymore because that kind of gives people free reign to use the Man of War. But I think we're just going to see more attachments attacked in the ban and protect.
I mean, right now it's a pretty much a split between these teams of Man of War use versus the M8. I think one thing to point out is this is actually the exact map and game mode where we saw teams begin to experiment with the Man of War more and more in the respawn game modes. There are some shaky shots from Pac-Man. He gets taken down by the Man of War of Fizzerp. That's going to leave Ivy left in the 1v4. He'll get one kill and rotate this drone right through the middle map. Love this decision from him as the rest of his team just spawned Kitchen. The player who was pushed up from H2K has been left completely in the dust. Ivy will just settle for the 1 to put his team on the board in the first half. Nice decision-making from him.
Would not be surprised if H2K gets a 1 out of this, though. With 10 seconds left, they should be able to pick the drone up. If this one player over on AC can pick up a kill, it would open up the chance to get a 1-point throw, and Legal's actually going to pick that up. You're going to see the 1-point throw go up and not go in, so they're going to miss it there at the end, and it would have taken a little bit more time to really kind of focus on that throw. Figure it would have went down. These had more than enough room to knock that one in.
I feel like H2K, they just weren't playing too well as a team in that first hard point. Now you've started to see them come to life in this game. Legal currently sitting at 14-8. The guys on TSM, while the slaying wasn't pretty in game number 1, they were able to win it, and it looks like a very similar case here in game 3. They've got to turn things around, though. Still very winnable, just like every other game so far this series. First kill going in favor of Wheats. He's actually got that scythe ready to go. He's going to elect to call it in right away at the start of the second half. Pac-Man also uses Annihilator as well, and Fears actually takes down both of those players. The drone gets tossed. It's a miss, but hey, this could wind up paying off as Legal tries to push forward for this objective. Finally, it goes off the map.
So that's
but
two misses.
2 lethal specialists from TSM used to no avail.
Yeah, but that's 2 misses out of the side of H2K. So
Yes.
always just keep that in mind when we just get the overall score at the end of this game. You got to think if TSM can just put in a 2-point play, we're tied up. This is one that H2K could have potentially blown open. 5-1 is not like a safe lead in uplink, but you got to think it puts a lot of pressure on TSM.
Anything over a 1-possession game is
You're looking good.
Yeah, because you know what? It makes it so that they can't just have one good push. If they score once, okay, let's regain control of our base. Let's turn this game back around. Nice stop right now from H2K. Colchan's still in a position to score. He's got the objective. He's also got kinetic armor. He might just go and pop this one and score, but instead, no, he's going to try to keep his map positioning there. Fizzerp does cut him down. TSM back within 1 map. This is the fears that you kind of go to when H2K missed all those 1-point opportunities.
Yeah, and Pac-Man needs to pick up some big kills here. He needs to kill this player behind this pillar because that's the spot that players are going to just hold down, not let your team push all the way through to AC, and he's going to be able to take that player out. But look at this player just pushing right next to him. Just some poor team communication right there from TSM. You're going to see an HC come in from H2K. You're going to see a TSM HC come in at a Colchan, and they're going to be able to push this one straight through on a top AC. Look, the drone actually going through the middle. Here. And they're going to settle for a 1-point play. Potentially could have gotten 2 there. You got to wonder, when is Colchan going to pop that kinetic and really hammer home a dunk?
What I love so far is that I don't think he even expected that to work, Matt. He knew that there were multiple enemies up in their base, but he was able to sneak it in through middle map, caught a great timing, and now Ivy's going to push forward this objective. It does stay on the map, though, and this should get dunked by Pac-Man. There it is, TSM with 4 unanswered points, putting themselves in the lead. Now up 5-3, it's still a 1-possession game. Pac-Man still living in the back side of the map. That's going to give Ivy time to go for the 1. He can't get it in, though, as it falls just short.
And if...
Oh, but this...
Oh, no, this is... Oh,
that
very close. And... I tell you what, oh no, this is going to be points. You think it's going to be at least 1. He could pass it back to a teammate. No, he's going to put it in. So it's going to be a 2-point play there from Wheats.
Wow.
7-3 right now. This could be a 7-5 game, which is a lot more manageable for H2K.
Oh, absolutely. Now it's kind of the reverse of what we were saying earlier. Instead of it being a 2-possession lead for them, now they're down by 2 possessions instead of being within 1 possession. Colchan still decides to pop the kinetic armor now, and Matt, you've got to love that decision. It bought his teammates enough time to potentially trade out these final 2, but instead, it's the Man of War and Fizzerp who's going to lead this charge. Legal now with the drone. He's going to look to go for a 1, it appears, but instead, he's actually going to pass that one over to Fierce, who came in from Kitchen. What a score opportunity. Love those decisions there.
And they're gonna take everyone out. Now you're just going to have Fierce just set up, trying to kill players with the M8 in the back, and he's going to be able to get 1. There's 2 more players to his right. He's going to jump out, try and challenge. Would have liked to see if he would have tried to ISO that player over by Kitchen, but some big plays coming in from H2K here. Can they make the comeback? You see Legal's able to pick up 2. 1 more player. It's going to be Lacefield, able to bring it in, though. He's going to use Heat Wave, stun that player on that platform over by Kitchen. Not going to kill him, dunks it home, and we have a tie game.
They're going to continue to push the objective. Fizzerp close up with this Man of War. And Matt, every time you see a kill from this range, you got to smile more and more about this weapon because it is just so lethal on a map like Evac. You play these close corners. Yes, the Man of War could do that, but you got to rely on potential 1 bursts here. The Man of War consistently shredding through opponents as Fizzerp almost gets a 6-piece there. Finally, he does fall. Colchan doing what he can to defend his base. This is such an intense gunfight as Fears is still here. All of his teammates spawn up on him. TSM might just be able to grab his drone and push it towards glass. 40 seconds left, Matt.
Oh, and you're going to see the HC coming. He dodges it. He's got 2 teammates that are much further back. Needs to wait for them to get pushed up closer. You're going to see Pac-Man picking up 1. He's going to try and go for that low wall run and just whiffs. Just whiffs on that lower wall run. You're going to see Ivy pick up the drone. Can he get in position and knock down a 1?
This could be a 1.
There's 1 player from H2K just looking completely in the wrong direction.
God.
And Ivy knocks down a 1-point throw. Oh, hey, man, Matt. H2K. Whoever that player was over.
Oh, my Wheats.
Over
again
on the pillar,
with the
just looking the complete opposite direction.
Hey, Matt, remember earlier on in this game we were talking about H2K and their 2 missed throws?
Yep, they would have won.
They lose by 1. Talk about paying the price of missed actions earlier on. Wheats, His sight at the start of the second half only was able to get 1 kill. This time, it stops the final push of H2K as
Boys
TSM
and girls,
win the map.
the simple lesson: go outside, practice your free throws.
Yep.
Go into the game. Don't just walk around, throw the drone around a bit. How many times do we see games lost by teams just missing throws?
I think one of the #1 things we saw in Advanced Warfare when Uplink was still so new is teams would spawn into maps, they drop like 10 drones on the map, and they would just throw them for ones and practice all the different areas. On this one, I know you can't do the whole, how many objectives you want there to be, but still, you get your team together, you practice the shots. We were speaking very highly of Lacefield.
Yeah.
That game, 14-27.
Not a great game. Not a great game by any stretch of the imagination.
Presence wasn't felt on the map, and I think a big thing for me was the play from Colchan. I mean, Colchan was winning those up-close gunfights with the sub, popped the kinetic armor at a great time.
Ivy grabbing the drone there in the final few seconds. There's a player on pillar, and that's like the spot. You're not going to die from there. If the drone carrier's coming towards you, you're not going to die. And nobody flanking him at that moment in time. And he just looks to his left. The guy with the drone goes right by him. When you take a look at the scoreboard here, see Colchan and Wheats both having great games for TSM. And that is just one that H2K, that's a little bit confusing. Fizzerp with another big game in Respawn game modes goes 29-20. I mean, even Fierce and Legal had pretty good games as well. It's really just Lacefield, but wow, that's a weird one for H2K to lose.
I thought H2K were going to score 3 straight dunks within 30 seconds of time on that one push near helipad when Fizzerp almost got that 6-piece. Instead, though, doesn't wind up working out for them. They lose the game by 1. Now we're going to be moving into, I believe, CTF on Breach. Matt, thoughts on this one? Who does this map really favor in your eyes?
I would normally say H2K, but the way TSM's playing and the way Ivy's winning these close quarter engagements, you got to give them a pretty good chance to win this map.
Absolutely. We're going to join up into the next lobby to get this one underway for you all. I believe
Optic DT series already done, right?
I think any person with a brain would
definitely think DT won that one.
Oh, God. See, that's exactly where I was going with it as well.
Only thing faster than a DT series is a TK series. I'm kidding.
That was unfortunate. That was.
I love that.
That was Matt felt bad right after he said it. TK.
That was like I felt like I was like coaching complexity again or something like that. No.
They weren't involved in it at all, and Matt realized like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, DT losing. It's pretty good for TK.
We didn't really get to talk about it.
TK can potentially we joked around about it, but TK has played so bad, and they're still in position to make like a run here.
Yeah.
And you got to think, I feel like, okay, every time, obviously, in the past pro leagues, TK, they seem like they've been out, right? Yeah. Like, they're at the bottom the whole season, and then somehow, like, I get there, and they're playing, like, not for relegation, they're, like, in the playoffs. I'm like, how did this happen?
They finished,
like
top 4.
Somehow they always are able to make it.
Yeah.
And you got to think, I mean, CLG winning hurts them a bit, right?
Yep.
But if they're able to beat FaZe, and Rise beats Luminosity, you have this TSM H2K match. This is actually pretty good for TSM to win if you are a TK fan. I mean, you get up to within 1 game of H2K.
I'm telling you right now,
you're right there.
This could be potentially the biggest night of the COD World League so far for TSM if they win their match.
Yes,
right?
Without a doubt.
Right?
Without a doubt. And TK is the team that I believe, don't quote me on this, actually no, they have a tough schedule. Okay. I believe they have the 2nd hardest schedule of anybody left. But if you were to say out of those bottom teams, who is capable of hanging with those top teams, we've seen TK do that in the past. It's just they have not been able to put it together on this game. So they have the talent to play with those teams.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen them put it together yet.
You gotta wonder, can TK win their matchup tonight? After this one, Rise Luminosity, which you expect the 11-5 Rise to potentially win that series. But at the same time, Luminosity realized their backs are against the wall. They're currently in the relegation,
that
though.
CLG series kind of threw everybody for a loop.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, that kind of I don't want to say CLG was out. I think that one definitely put CLG back in the mix. But
look at Afterburner. Every game is the first contested item.
Now, this map, obviously, you're able to hit those wall runs with an Afterburner with the flag. You're able to get out
1 green band
pretty fast.
What
At this
happened
point,
again?
it hasn't made much of a difference, right?
Yeah, and instead, no, they'll target overdrive right away. We've seen from the likes of Ricky how useful that can be. Overclock
If
still
you
available.
are, you're going to see stock go. If you're H2K, you have to think though. They've been banning stock. It's obviously been hurting you a little bit.
Yeah.
Why not protect stock in that second slot? Because you know that TSM.
Whoa.
Okay, that's weird. You know TSM is going to get rid of overdrive. You pretty much know the opponent's going to get rid of overdrive. You're going to see rapid fire get protected there by Fizzard. You're going to see high caliber get banned out. The Shiva's still in play.
You're expecting.
I don't think you see the Shiva too much though on breach.
You're expecting the presence of the Man of War to be back again with rapid fire in. You're expecting the Pharaohs to now be brought out. Heatwave is going to be banned by Fears. Ivy and Lacefield last to go. Overclock still available. Camo still available. All tactical still available.
Shiva still in play. I think this will be an overclock from one of these.
I think
two.
Overclock and potentially Shiva. So TSM banning Shiva, Overclock ban.
If you get rid of Camo or Kinetic, are you okay with Overclock making it through? So there goes Overclock. Lazul's going to get rid of that. Camo goes. So the Shiva makes it. If I'm TSM, I'm not too scared of the Shiva on this map. I think it's a map that you can't really. I don't want to say utilize the Shiva that well, but
I get more scared of the Shiva if my opposing team scores first, because then you can have more of a kind of dedicated top middle Shiva AR player who locks down that area of the map for your team, just kind of plays a rotating AR that, oh, they're putting more pressure towards greenhouse side. Let me go top green with the Shiva to cut down the submachine gun players. Oh, they're pushing towards our bottom palace. I'll drop back to our back AC vent and just fire down shots with that long range AR through the specialist draft now. Already 2 lethal specialists on the side of H2K in the Scythe and Annihilator. Scythe from Wheats and Kinetic Armor picked up by Colchan. Both teams going with Scythe and Annihilator this game. Yeah,
Annihilator, one of the better weapons. Do you see 2 more weapons coming out at the end here?
For me, I don't
think so at all.
Now,
I think you're going to see, obviously, Kinetic out of Lacefield.
What
do we see out of Ivy? I mean,
Camo's gone. Overdrive is gone.
That's what I'm saying. Heatwave's gone as well.
You might just go Vision Pulse.
Psychosis.
So
I feel like at that point, though, you're just picking something to pick something.
Yeah.
Like, why not take a flyer on a weapon?
Hey,
right?
Well, I mean, now I think I know your answer to this, but would you rather have Vision Pulse or Psychosis in CTF?
Vision Pulse?
Yeah. I mean, Legal takes Vision Pulse. Ivy takes Psychosis with...
I feel like it's just a waste of a pick.
Yeah. I mean, now we've seen Crimsix is the one who really brought out Vision Pulse for the first time in CTF on a map like this. Brought it out on Breach when it was kind of getting towards the end of the game. He ran in there, popped Vision Pulse, said 3 pushing towards second hard point, 1 pushing from top middle, opt to get a full clear of their base because of that information.
And something obviously to even look at on the side of H2K, smokes make it through.
Yep.
Do we see something where, smokes combine with a Vision Pulse?
Yeah.
Right? And usually you see smoke and camo kind of paired together, but smoke and Vision Pulse is a decent option as well. Something to just throw out there.
Thankfully, this map, not one that I expect to see an overkill sniper with thermal be brought out by Fizzard, which is something he's done on Stronghold CTF. He goes as far back as you could possibly see and just throws down smokes and uses a thermal sniper. Not going to happen this time around
see it
on Breach, but hey, a man can dream. A man can definitely dream. Don't think it's going to happen, though. Through this one, though, still, the highly contested Afterburner is the big thing I'm taking from this series, because I'm actually just going to lean in. I'm doing this right
What is the Game 5?
Game 5 will wind up being Hunted S&D, which, for me...
We've seen TSM have some good games on Hunted.
We definitely have, but for me, still, Afterburner is one that can be very useful on a map like that because of its size. That's one where Afterburner is better.
Well, that's if we're going there. I mean,
yeah.
TSM's looked like they're in a really nice spot to put this series away. I mean, they win both the respawns thus far. They lose the S&D, but, I mean, that's one, at least I think they should have won. I mean, right? You got a guy with full streaks. You figure you're going to win the Search and Destroy. But this one, I think TSM has a decent chance to put it away. And I picked H2K to win this series. This will be a huge win for TSM just in terms of standing and making it into the playoffs.
What worries me for TSM, you go into a Game 5 versus the likes of H2K. They've really already won an S&D that you expected TSM to win after such a hot start they had. Now, though, going into Game 4, it's Team SoloMid just 1 map away from closing the series out. This one is going to be fun. I'm watching Legal to see how he uses Vision Pulse to his team's advantage. Also, Ivy, you got to sell me a little bit more on that Psychosis, my friend, as I definitely am not too sure of that pick for his team. Matt, off the start of this one, though, who do you want to watch? Who do you want to hop on board with?
You know, let's actually jump on with Ivy. He's actually been playing unbelievable for this TSM team in this series. I think he's been a real big difference maker.
Look what he's using, Matt. Double smokes. Expect those to be littered all over the map. Off the break of this one, we're going back over to Ivy. He's going to be the one pushing towards that Cage's hard point. He's got 2 players beginning to peek on towards him. Kills being traded near middle map. Ivy does get one with the headshot. He knows there's someone inside this construction room. Refires, gets the kill as well. Nice 2-0 start for him as TSM gained some early control, and it's Colchain who's already pulled this flag.
He's going to get out over towards Broken side, but he's got a player trailing him and actually baits that player directly into Weeds. Big play, not able to get around that wall.
Nope.
You're going to see Fizzerp in Fears able to get that return. And I don't want to say H2K gets lucky. They get fortunate right there. Now you're seeing they go with the rapid fire protect because they want to use rapid fire Kuda. It seems like that's what you're going to see out of the side of H2K. And you're going to see a VMP on Legal. He's going to track back to their base. And you're going to see Lacefield and Fizzerp trying to make a play for the flag. They're going to be able to get it out over towards Broken side. You see the spawns coming in for TSM over by Palace. Pac-Man in a position to make a play. He's going to
That's
tag him up, but this is a cap for H2K. Strong start here by them.
These two teams look so even at the moment, Matt. Minute and 15 seconds in. There is the flag captured, earning the HC as well. All 4 players of TSM were literally on their flag peg there momentarily. Some kills going in their favor now. And that's what begins to worry me, right? Is the Shiva made it through, Rapid Fire made it through as well, and now Fizzerp's team, they strike first on the map. Oh, Fizzerp turns around, shuts down Pac-Man, almost gets the second. That could have been just so disgusting.
Sick. You're going to see Lacefield on a 3 streak, though. He's going to be 250 away from the Lightning, so he's just going to kind of play some base defense.
Oh, this is big.
Oh, and they're actually going to pinch on him. Look at how many players are attacking him, and I'm surprised they're not being a little bit more aggressive, and they're actually going to let him. Oh,
he got 2.
If he pops his kinetic, he gets that 3rd, and he picks up a Hellstorm. But I feel like TSM needs to be way more aggressive pushing into the base. I mean, you knew where he was, and he was trapped to the VMP behind that AC unit. You got to go in there and challenge him. And if he just keeps going towards Broken side, that would have been a cap.
Wow. Unfortunate for the boys of H2K. That was actually a literally perfect setup. 4 were already dead. Fears was somehow in bottom lab already. Trusted his teammates to hold off his base as he overextended. Instead, though, it doesn't wind up paying off. Lacefield watching over from top sign. He still has his lightning strike to use. Will earn himself another HC. Nope. Gets the assist there. He'll pick up an M8 as well and begin to peek towards construction as it's still a 1-0 lead for H2K. Lacefield is just a man on a mission, Matt. He's 10-2, a 5.0 KD. He's on another 4 streak. Definitely picking it up from what was a rough game.
He heard you talking bad about him last time.
Hey, Lacefield's my boy. He's going big. I got a really good relationship with these H2K guys. Been playing some ace with them as well. Fully streaked out now is Lacefield. He'll check in towards that bottom closet area. Sees a player, decides to challenge it. Oh my God, that is confidence nutty. On a player, Matt.
By the way, this is the flag carrier as well, challenging that gunfight. I would not recommend anyone at home trying to do that. Trying to play in a competitive setting.
Oh! Who was that?
Colchan!
He dies. I think the flag got returned. Colchan gets it done, and they're going to pull the flag.
Ivy puts out Psychosis for the hell of it, and he's just going to run all the way down Broken. What a play by Colchan.
Oh!
Okay, for a second, I totally blanked out because I'm freaking out about that play by Colchan. And I actually thought Legal for a second there was falling off of the map. I thought he was going straight down into that pit.
No, it didn't wind up working out. But look, Matt, look who it is again. Lacefield overextends
Put it
right
in
away.
This time, Lace.
This is another opportunity. This time, no, he's taking matters into his own hands. It's Hellstorm time, boys and girls. He'll drop the rockets down, gets the kill on a Pac-Man.
At least he knows where this next player is.
This is going to be an easy cap.
Yeah,
he's going to put this one on in. They've got a smoke on it as well, 2-0. He's also 25 points off of what was, I think, almost tripling up on some of his streaks.
I mean,
Jesus, man.
That's what happens when somebody's,
This map is something with impressive performances because
16-3 when
Ricky
the next highest Slayer in the lobby is a 9.
I casted Ricky when he got a 16 streak on this map.
That was nuts.
Now you got Lacefield doing. I need a doctor, dude. This can't be legal.
Pack having a really rough game.
Lacefield is just challenging everything. His third 5 streak of this game already.
They have the flag out. I don't know if there's actually even enough time to get this one across map. Fizzerb would need to run at a very alarming pace.
I mean, it's definitely. Oh, he went for some weird like zigzag in the middle building as well. That didn't help him.
No.
All right, whatever. Hey, at the half, as H2K is up 2-0, Lacefield is 18-4. Okay, I think he wants to go to map 5, Matt. Something tells me.
You know, the next highest
kills
in the room is 9.
By 3 players.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. You can't even really say a lot about the first half because he was the only one really doing like tons of damage.
Look at his score.
That play by Colchan was ridiculous as well.
I'm watching Pac-Man here. He's currently 2-11. Not even close yet to getting that Annihilator. He needs to step up on side 2. He's got double flashes with the Pharaoh. Did you see the shadow of the player? He's going to actually walk into someone who's directly to his left. And
Lacefield.
He actually darts the HC into the corner to blow up Pac-Man. Still kills himself. He did his best that he could to keep himself
Pac-Man's having one of those games where you just can't catch a break.
Yeah, you just shake your
head.
Right,
I mean, you put a lot of shots with an MR6 on the guy mid-map. He just turns and burns you.
Yep.
You're off the break. You're running out there. You get hit in the mouth of the car. Just not. It's just a really rough game for Pac-Man. And obviously, a lot of players have been there before.
Yeah.
It happens. And you're going to see a smoke come in from Legal. He's going to have a teammate there to follow it up. So Legal is not going to be able to do anything with the smoke. And look at that. He's going to pop Kinetic in the middle of the smoke, able to eat some more shots and get out of there. Don't think it's going to work for him. He's got players trailing him. Now, that's going to be a good stop there for TSM.
And you've already got players who rotated right back. Good job by both Fears and Legal, the duo, to rotate right back to their spawn. HC now getting called in. They at least got the information of 1 player in the second hardpoint. This is TSM's best chance to cap so far this game. They've got 3 kills down. Legal last alive. He wins the first engagement. Spots second as well. Wins 2. That might have bought enough time for his teammates to begin to react to this one.
They're going to just... It looks like they're going to get... They're going to... Well, it's a big gunfight here for Lacefield.
Oh, he's got the scythe out.
Oh. It's a bad spot to have the scythe out.
Yeah,
in fairness. I mean, I understand what Wheats is trying to do, right? He's like the only one on that side of the map.
Oh, no,
He needs to make a big play.
Okay,
but
wow. Okay, so
he actually doesn't pull it out.
Yeah, it was mid-animation. It was mid because he was about to peek that door.
Well, yeah, I was going to say.
Wow,
you can understand the use of it because he's the only one alive, needs to make a play. He knows players are going to be flooding him. Obviously, his best chance is to pick up kills with the scythe, and you're going to see smoke comes out from Legal. He's going to just toss it in.
Does he vision pulse here?
No, there's no reason to.
Got a teammate in a gunfight, knows that Colchan's right around, and he's going to just to get that extra bit of information, and he still loses the engagement. Oh,
but
Legal.
He knows where Colchan is.
Oh, God.
Like, you use vision pulse to tag up players you don't know where they are located.
Yeah.
You knew where he was playing.
A lot of times you see a vision pulse used defensively, right? Where you're like, okay, where are they pushing our base? Okay, they're here, and here, and we can call that out. There, he tried to use it aggressively. I mean, that's a cakewalk of a gunfight, and you see his outline at all times. Instead, though, he gets taken down. Pac-Man elects to use the Annihilator here, Matt. And, you know, this is
He can make up for his game thus far with a big play here.
Yeah, this is kind of the beginning of kind of the worries of TSM, where you need to have these shots hit for Pac-Man. Whiffs the first one. Does get one.
Second.
Almost
no, he actually takes out a second.
Does get one.
So, but Fizzerb with a big 2-piece, though.
3 dead on either team. Colchan and Fizzerb last alive. The map will reset. And with 2 minutes remaining, you basically need, a flawless play. You've got Lacefield, who's 26-10.
What does TSM have in terms of like abilities and weapons and such? So he just uses Annihilator. They got a Kinetic.
Scythe is
out. And then you have Psychosis. Man, wouldn't it be great if Psychosis was Vision Pulse right now with a team turtling inside of their base?
To know exactly where they are, to get that flag pulled that you need to win the game. I got you on that one, Matt. Wheats is going to get one. Does spot the second on the Legal. They need to pull this flag right now. Wheats, you expect him to be the lead blocker. They're going to pop Psychosis. There's beautiful lightning strike from Lacefield to clear out his flag. Wheats gets taken down by the Annihilator of Fears, and that might just be the nail in the coffin, Matt, as we are definitely going to be heading to a Game 5 between H2K and TSM. And now, I'll be honest, prior to today starting up,
Jack went to me and said, hey, I think we got 2 3-0s on our hands.
That was my prediction. And now, of course, I'm definitely wrong on this one, as it's going to a Game 5, and honestly, you never know what you're going to get from the likes of Luminosity. Some days they look like superstars. The next one, they look like It's 4 Mavens playing. Can they potentially force a game 5, if not win the series against Rise? We'll have to see with 45 seconds left.
Yeah, well, Pac-Man's got the flag.
I mean, he gets his lead blocker dies.
Just got to pick up one
does
kill.
Get one kill.
They trade on the other side of the map. This should be a cap.
This player needs to OE. Colchan, you need to OE. There's 30 seconds left. He needed to overextend.
Yeah, you got one really good chance to make a push.
They don't have time.
They would need to get the flag now.
Yeah, Colchan would have already been in their base, and instead they're just going to turtle. They're going to hold it on off. H2K will win the map. You needed Cole to overextend right away, and it just...
Yeah, and you have the lightning strike as well.
Yeah.
So that would have been
GG's.
Very difficult. Just don't want to call a game before it's actually over. You see TSM trying to make it interesting there towards the end. Nah,
wow.
Keyword there is trying, as H2K is going to win this map 2-1.
That is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's going to be a hunted game 5. Woo! What a series it's been, man. I mean, from game 1 to game 5, so many unexpected wins or crazy rounds or monster plays. You could definitely make a highlight reel off what we've seen so far. Lacefield that map with an MVP performance. The big reason why his team won. They won that 2-1 with Lacefield going 30-12.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's a little bit close, H2K. You thought you might have had a little bit more out of them.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else really does much of any. I mean, Fizzle goes 17-15 and Legal 19-14, but it's nothing to really kind of.
For them to just win 2-1,
Not going to tweet about it. I mean,
double negative Pac-Man, everyone negative on H2K. It's like, okay, guys, that was a little bit closer than we would have wanted to see right there. The game Ricky went like
and if you're TSM,
34-11. They
you're
won
TSM,
6-0.
you got to feel pretty good. You go to a game 5 where, although you've lost the search and destroy, you had a really strong performance.
Yeah.
I mean, probably doesn't indicate that in scoreline, but you know they had Ivy get full streaks. They had some nice plays by some other players as well. We can take a look at the scoreboard real quick, but they're also a very good team on Hunted. We've seen them win some Hunted S&D games before, so looking to see if they can pull a big one out. It'd be a huge win for them. It would be crushing for them to lose this series. Just knowing how hard these guys have, tried, put in a lot of work here in stage 1 to just get in, right? To get in through the online. Then they have some team turmoil. They figure things out. Now we're back to team turmoil. Be a huge win for them if they're able to get this. Be a really crushing blow, I think, if they lose.
So much on the line right now for both of these teams. They're just hanging on the edge of that relegation zone. Every team in that bottom 6 really eyes on this match right now. Because for me, this one can definitely change up the standings just a little bit, can give a team a chance to really begin to climb out of that relegation zone. I'll get things all switched up.
I think TSM needs to win this one.
Yeah, you think this is a must win?
It's as close as it can get.
They've gotten this far, right? A lot of people thought they were not going to even have a chance in this matchup because of how good H2K have looked now. And now,
I'll tell you what, TSM wins this match. I believe they have one left against Luminosity. They win that one. They're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Even with just 2 wins.
And because they're beating teams that are I think Luminosity is 1 below them and H2K is 1 above them.
Yeah.
You beat both those teams, you can't have a better turnaround.
And H2K, I mean, they have some really hard games left. I mean, they play Optic, I believe they play FaZe, and I think them and TK have the 2 hardest schedules remaining. So those 2 teams going to have to go through some powerhouses to make it in. And for H2K, you're a little bit fortunate you got the 2-0 week last week against 2 teams you probably didn't think you'd beat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we saw H2K beat FaZe.
Really
There's no reason TK can't take out FaZe, right?
Almost certainly.
And they win that one. Who does TK play tomorrow? Do we have that?
I'm looking right now. So tomorrow we would see CLG versus Luminosity.
Big match.
Dream Team versus Elevate. FaZe Complexity, which is going to be the real big one for the top half of the bracket. Treegate. Envy versus Rise Nation. H2K Optic, and then TSM TK.
So that's a massive match.
Is the biggest match for me right now for relegation. Is that one right there?
I tell you what, if TSM loses this one and they lose tomorrow, they could be done.
Really?
They could be close to done. I think, TK, if they can somehow take that game against FaZe and then win tomorrow, they'd be at 7 wins.
Yep.
They're right there. They're right there.
Oh my God, that's so much pressure on a team.
Team Caliber never dies. like you feel like they're gone and they're just there.
Yeah, and you're like, okay.
It's like I feel like I've watched you die already.
Yeah.
Like, how are you back?
I thought we counted you out 4 weeks ago.
Right. It's like,
and now you snuck into the 7th, 8th spot, And then they go into it and like it's TK versus Optic in round 1, and somehow the TK will like force a game 7. They might not win it, but you're like, where was TK like this the entire season?
Like you waited 11 weeks
to do this? You decided to be decent at hardpoint now after all that time. Just TK things, man. That's a good hashtag that people should start to use.
Just TK things, right?
Yeah, if you're just tuning in now, this is the story of 2 teams fighting to stay out of the relegation zone. Not only does it have big implications for the rest of these teams' stages, but for other teams right around them. And we've got a Game 5 coming up. We're glad you're here to join us. We've seen Afterburner heavily contested. SVG was banned out in the first S&D. We also saw the Shiva banned out from TSM in the first S&D. On a map like Hunted, both of those weapons very powerful.
You'd think so. I don't think you're going to see anything with Blast Suppressor on this map. Seems like H2K, they've gone to that. It's starting up right now, so we'll get right into this. It's going to be Hunted, Search and Destroy. Well, actually, no, Fizzer goes back to Spectator, so we're not going to get this started.
Blame Fizzer.
It's going to be H2K TSM Game 5, Hunted S&D.
I just have a smile on my face right now because these players have now played for 8 weeks, now week 9. This is the last time these 2 teams will meet.
Nobody wants to be in these stressful matches.
Yeah, you want to be able to coast the last couple weeks.
I mean, you speak to Sharp a little bit more than I do, but like I imagine his heart rate like these last few weeks. Like, I mean, it happened during Advanced Warfare. Like they were like on the cusp. It's happened now. I mean, just not a spot you want to be in. You're gonna see Shiva, Afterburner, both go there early.
No surprise for me in those first 2 bans. Blast Suppressor will be protected by Wheats, so you thought it wasn't really going to be contested. Now, though, it's protected right away from TSM. Fizzer will elect to ban out the SVG again, still targeting towards the likes of Colchan of TSM. There's a ban of Thermal, which you weren't a big fan of from H2K in the first S&D. They do it again here because Colchan is someone who loves to snipe with the likes of Varix on his weapon. Kinetic armor out from Ivy.
There's no reason to get rid of Thermal when you know that TSM is going to get rid of it.
I believe I just heard TK just won the hard point. I just saw you're like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Honestly, it doesn't shock me.
Now at this
somebody's got to launch an investigation into Kostov.
Yeah.
You know, Kostov's calling up all his YouTube buddies. There's somehow, I mean, maybe like T. Martin's playing for Sharp or something along those lines.
I don't know where you're going with this, but
I don't know.
I would not be surprised to see TK finish the rest of the stage. Just
somebody needs to launch an investigation into Team Calver.
You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first.
Trauma alert as Fizzer will grab Overdrive. Active camo from Legal Ivy again with Psychosis. Oh, it's still one for me that never sits too comfortably. Glitch from Pac-Man. Oh, please, Pac-Man, round 11. Clutch with Glitch. It would make my life worth living.
I mean, if that's what you need to make Jack.
We need to have a talk.
You live in sunny California, Jack. There are better things than Pac-Man clutching around 11 with Glitch.
Sorry,
I love you, Pac-Man, but I mean...
that shouldn't impact me so much.
Norm's down the street makes a great burger. I mean, I love that. That makes my day.
Not your life.
Not my life, but I mean, I know this should be a pretty good map.
I am literally so excited for this.
Yeah, well, it's just Ivy going Psychosis again.
Yep.
Still don't know why. Overdrive in. I feel like this is one of the ones that Overdrive is more powerful.
Yep.
On Hunted, Search and Destroy, as opposed to like a map like, you know, even like a game like Evac, right? Yep. I think Overdrive, if it's in, this is a map that you need to take it. Like I feel like you need Overdrive. Like it's not necessary, but if it's in, you take it.
This is a map where Overdrive is make or break. We've seen on other maps where Overdrive can be, you know, you push it towards, let's say, B Bridge on the likes of Hunted, or Redwood, sorry, where you're on defense, you flood out towards B Bridge, you have a guy follow you up. Yes, he's a little bit late, but he can trade the kill. Map like this, your guy using Overdrive will die or live on his own merit. There's no trade coming in, because a lot of times you see Overdrive on offense, they'll flood right through Tiki Hut
and hit that
wall run into Waterfall. He either gets the kill on that B site or he dies, and that can completely change around for your team. There's no way you're keeping up with it.
I think you take the risk.
Well, you can see Fizzer has gone for it.
Like a 50-50 chance you win the round, right? Yep. You get that first kill on that B site, you
bomb
come through
planted.
Waterfall,
Boom.
Bomb down right away, boom, you win the round. You know, if you have a 50-50 chance to win a round, Search and Destroy right off the rip, I think you take it. I mean, Overdrive, even going over towards A,
Yep.
I think you obviously get the jump on the defensive team. I think that's another good use of it. But
I think the more telling thing for me is Fears with Vision Pulse, because
Yep.
Fears I expect to play a very similar style to Octane on this map, which is the AR by B site, the guy solo holding that with maybe he's rocking EMPs, he's got Vision Pulse on as well, he's EMP checking, he's just buying time, he's trying to get
Yep.
first blood. Expect Fears to be a massive impact on this game.
I believe I
comes down
saw.
to this.
I believe I saw H2K win this
Okay.
the last time they played it.
So you think that
Can't recall against who.
I mean, it's S&D, right? So you
I
got
could
to
have
be
potentially
confident.
just made that all
Oh,
up.
I
but
wouldn't be surprised at all. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Wow, that team caliber win against FaZe was 250 to 137.
It's not even close.
That wasn't even like a last second win.
TK in the first half of the stage, they would have lost that one by 170 points. Now though,
Sharp's been sitting there watching like COD 4 videos all week.
oh well, that's
seems like-
unfortunate.
Yep.
We'll hop right back in to things. Don't worry, folks. As
Sharp's been watching like COD 4 videos, like getting himself all psyched up, like I can do this.
yeah,
I've done it before. Got Kostov
hey,
cheering him on.
you're saying how they've been watching like gameplay. I spoke to Nezel last night. He was studying FaZe this past weekend in the 25K. You might as well. They won it.
Yeah.
Like you want utilize that to your advantage. He was going, watching the gameplay, seeing exactly what they were doing. His biggest kind of thing that he mentioned about FaZe, he said, these guys play very similar to how Optic did in AW, where they weren't rotating as early as they should. They were relying on their gun skill to just break hills. I want to go back and see how TK played that. TK were probably more than willing to give up a little bit early, a little bit more time at a hill to go and get the extra 40 seconds on an early rotation of a new hardpoint. We will get right back into Game 5
And
here
they got the
momentarily.
TK house. I don't know how many people are there.
Yeah.
Right? It's probably just Lagoon that's not in the TK house. So.
Yeah, for right now, yeah. That's they have Sharp, Neslo, and
Yeah.
Theory all in the building right over there. We are going to wind up joining back in to this lobby. Sorry for the brief moment
It
there.
happens. I mean, once our PlayStation heard that Team Caliber won by that score, it just exploded.
That's you know what? Now that you mentioned that, that's exactly what happened. I couldn't believe it either. Makes sense. As we get back into things, though, I'll quickly swap over to Codcaster. The
Get
game
right
does
back in
remain
it.
underway. They're not going to wind up shutting that down just because little old us aren't there to talk about the video game. It's more about the players just playing under the correct circumstances. Thankfully, though, it does look like it was an isolated incident only with us.
Yeah. So we're
nothing
good.
too much.
Bringing it right back into this one.
Yep.
Obviously, it'll be Hunted, Search, and Destroy. Game 5 between TSM and H2K.
We're good.
And, H2K wins
won
round
round
1. So, don't know what happened in it. Looks like everybody just picked up a kill from H2K.
Look at Fizzer.
Good to see Fizzer.
Dan it.
Creeping all the way up until the bridge.
It's a Fizzer
and-
nade. And it's a trophy.
Oh,
Oh my god!
And they line up for weeds. We could not have joined back in at a better time. You could not have gotten back in at a better time. You're gonna
Oh,
see
that's gotta be a fail
Weeds
right
pick
there.
up 2. You're gonna see Cole Chan
Oh my god,
grab
that
the
was
last
hysterical.
one and gonna have a tie game here, 1 apiece.
That was absolutely brilliant right there. Here's a look at how Cole Chan finished this round on out. There's some beautiful kind of examples of knowing this map more and more. Teams are getting more and more comfortable that he knows, hey, I can double boost over this, see the player right below me, cleans up the kill. TSM tie the game 1-1 after quite the fail play from Fizzer and the boys on H2K. Now, I just want to see, does Fears rush towards that bottom cave area to get control? Instead, no, he'll like to play towards middle map. Weeds is pushing on up with an elo M8 of his own. Still a 4-on-4. Fizzer actually playing further back. They've given up control of this B site momentarily. Does TSM recognize that? No, it doesn't appear so as of yet.
Well, a lot of teams would not recognize it because you just don't
Yeah.
want to come out and peek this like right away. Like you're usually going to have 1 or 2 players contesting you on that B site.
Mhm.
Now the fact that they've given it up completely is quite odd. It's probably kind of throwing TSM for a loop right now, trying to figure out where these players on H2K are, and they're just playing a little bit further back in the cave. And who is that strafing very
That's
fast back
Fizzer.
and forth? That is Fizzer.
Fizzer is being a little bit of a nuisance, doing what he can to check. He'll flash out, knows that, hey, this bomb might be going down. The bomb is planted, and now he's going to be the first one to peek on up.
He has that player
on
flash
site is
on the B
completely
site.
flashed. It's going to be Weeds who's just trying to stay alive.
He has no idea where he is.
He's here. Does win the gunfight, though.
Big win
Number
there.
advantage to H2K. Just a middle man. Oh my god. Lacefield is right around the corner from Cole Chan. He wins that engagement. Now Fears is peeking on over. He gets a kill. 1v2. Cole Chan is going to have to peek through water. Does spot one player, cleans him up. It's a 1v1, and he'll pop camo as well. Cole Chan gets it done
my!
with the two-piece TK. Not even in this game. TSM up 2-1. Cole Chan with what, 3 kills that round. He starts off this game 6-1, man. I'm getting flashbacks to Ivy in game 2 when TK, I keep saying TK, TSM have a monster start, and then TSM throw it away. Please don't let that happen again in this big game 5. What does Cole Chan have to use? He's already got the HCs, 250 off the dart as well. Oh my god, 2 frustrating rounds for H2K as they throw away their lead.
Now let's see what they elect to do. If they try and go back to that strat over on that B bomb site, you're going to see one player get into Tiki Hut. You're not going to hit that wall run now. It's going to be a little bit too late in the round. You're going to see Fizzler
What's this?
back all the way up, and somebody is going on a long flank here. It's going to be, oh, Pac-Man looks to his left. He has everybody. Everybody from H2K is directly behind you. Turn around.
Oh my god.
Turn around.
Pac-Man.
Oh my.
Look, they had no idea.
No, well, they think that Pac-Man's cleared that side of the map, that there's nobody there. Oh, they're going to get completely caught off guard by this.
Watch this. Pac-Man's going to go, they're not here. And watch the arrows just turn. Look, guys, now the bomb is going to go down free of charge.
Oh, they're going to watch the VODs, and they're going to die on the inside right here.
Oh, wow. That is
Pac-Man turns, he kills 2.
Yeah.
At minimum.
And
at
minimum,
and
knows where the other ones are, even if he gets killed out.
And they're kind of caught on the A bridge at that point.
Yeah, and now look at how awkward this is. Pac-Man's got to go across the bridge. Ivy's got to go across the bridge. You've got Wheat still playing middle map. Legal gets first blood. Legal with the saucy shots. Challenge is the second. The HG's not going to get a kill. Wheat should be killed here momentarily. And Cole Chan is going to get a potential for Ninja to fuse, but you don't think that's going to happen.
No, zero
He's going
chance.
to get spotted. He'll get taken down.
Dead.
Oh, my TSM. You're going to be shaking your heads after that one.
That's a rough one. Obviously, we have the luxury of having X-ray, right? Where we're able to see players through the walls. It gives you a better view. As a spectator, a player's obviously not going to have that ability. And
wow.
Yeah, I mean, if Pac-Man did have that ability, he would have killed everybody right there.
I can't believe they didn't see him either because they were all running down that middle stairwell. None of them, though, catching him with their peripheral vision. 2-2. As it's going to be another B-bomb push from TSM. It's worked so far this game. Might as well keep it going. Wheat's in charge of the trophies near that B bridge. And look, Fears and Fizzerp elect to give up B site again. They're just going to play this one back. And I'm wondering
They're just playing for a retake.
Yeah, I'm wondering if TSM just kind of go for the same slow push like last time.
TSM can just kind of take their trophies, march them onto that B site. And
yep.
They're covered pretty well. Now, Overclock makes into this game, so you're going to see abilities start to come up pretty fast here. Obviously, you saw Cole Chan uses camo once already because he's 7-2, but you're going to see a lot of other players start to get their abilities soon. You're going to see he's going to get into the water here. Just going to kind of look around over on steps.
Clearing all his corners.
Yeah, they're just trying to gain some information at this moment in time, and he is standing right on top of a grenade. He's going to get hurt. They're going to know exactly where he is. You're going to have one player come around the corner, challenge him. Doesn't matter. He's going to destroy Lacefield with the MR6. It's going to give TSM one-man advantage.
Do you use camo here? You've got Overclock on as well, so you earn it quickly. Does get one. Now a 3v3.
I think you can use it and get up to the jump up.
That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to wind up hopping up into red room. Only 13 seconds left. Heat Wave is popped. Legal's regained site control. Can't get the kill on the first player. 7 seconds remaining. Legal left in the 1v2. They've got to challenge him. He gets one. Gets the second.
Oh my!
These
huge
two
play.
pieces to win rounds are crazy.
What a huge play out of Legal there.
Oh my god.
I mean, all he has to do is stay alive. It's a 2v1 on defense. Doesn't have to challenge both these players. Could have opted to run. But at that moment in time, if he would have turned his back, they probably would have flooded and taken him out. He challenges both. Wins both of those gunfights.
Oh my god.
Cole Chan is 9-3 and they're down one round.
it's like what we saw.
It's like what we saw out of Ivy in game 2.
You've got multiple specials ready, and now Fizzerp is going to pop overdrive and get right towards this B site.
Yep.
But instead, he's not really going to get anywhere. He must have been blocked or something. That was an awkward kind of position to stop your overdrive at. First 2 kills go in favor of TSM. Fierce trades one back out. Legal's there with an AR as well. They know where both these players are. And it looks like they're going to decide to get aggressive. You got Ivy coming through middle map. Red Hut is taken by Pac-Man. Going to glitch on back. Knows he's pinched from both sides. Pretty nice use of it there to stay alive and keep the numbers even in this round 6. Pac-Man has stuck behind both players. Does he see the one in the water? It does appear so. Now he's going to make it a 2-on-1. Fears last alive.
Fears can actually turn this into a 1v1 scenario.
Jesus, man. And Colchan's already almost got camo.
He's pretty far away. You're going to see Fears actually wrap this all the way out.
If he plants this bomb, he earns Vision Pulse.
Over towards A. And do you expect him to use it?
I mean,
you're up a round.
Yeah.
Worst thing that happens, they tie the score, right? I don't know if you use Vision Pulse right away because you're going to see camo. Yep, you're going to see camo on Colchan.
There's Vision Pulse.
I think if you can actually just I don't want to say convince him, but obviously get Colchan to burn that camo here.
Colchan saw him. I think Colchan saw him. He knows he's in the backside of the map. Oh, he goes to peek. Instead though, he gets tagged up. He will pop the camo. Fears has no idea. Tries to get a burst out. It's not gonna happen as he get Colchan challenges.
Huge win there by Cole. Well, obviously we can't check, but I wonder if Fears actually popped his Vision Pulse.
No. Oh no. That's nobody. We're not.
Legal actually
has some streaks.
Legal has some streaks, though. No, you're gonna see Vision Pulse. So if you're H2K, you're still in a really nice spot.
Oh my god.
You have Vision Pulse. You got streaks on Legal. This is just
you got to do this, right? You got to challenge it right away. You know where he is.
A big play here by Colchan.
He's already weak. You've regained your health. And if Fierce gets that kill, Matt, he earns himself an HC. So he'll get killed off his streak. They've got full peace of mind knowing that, hey, there's no one close to getting streaks, but Legal already has earned this HC and Dart. Do you use it on defense? 3 specialists ready from the likes, or 2 specialists, sorry, from H2K. On the other side of things, no specialists here for TSM. Colchan closest to streaks as well, about 150 off.
Colchan put down some shots over on the A side of the map. He's going to back down. You're going to see the same defensive setup for H2K.
Got flashes again. There is a trophy
I actually
down.
believe Fizzerp sees that trophy, so not going to waste the flashes. Going to shoot the trophy, now use the flash. And the player's going to have Tac Mask on the B site. And it's going to be very difficult for him to push up first here, and he's going to drop. You're going to see Wheats.
Can they get to this bomb, though, right now? It doesn't appear so. What was that from Legal? He just runs up and
ran
dies.
Out there. Yeah, that was not the smartest play. Well, Lacefield and Fear is able to
Wow.
take out 2. It's going to be a 2v1. They know where this last player is as well, and it's actually going to be Wheats. They got to anticipate he's going to be coming from Waterball, and he actually gets into the water. They're able to win that one with ease.
I like that. I mean, there's so little time left that if
they use Vision Pulse as well.
Yeah, if they don't get that kill, if somehow Lacefield doesn't pop Heatwave and dives to Wheats right here, it's almost a free round for Wheats. All he has to do is stall for a couple seconds and check bomb. Instead, Lacefield gets the guaranteed kill. He's now 6-5. H2K back up 4-3 in what has been an insane series between H2K and TSM. Almost a 2-hour-long slugfest as these two teams are just so evenly matched at the moment. Ivy, who was the one leading TSM in Game 2, now 1-7. H2K still with a couple streaks to work with. Fears 1 kill off of his HC. You can see, though, 3 players in position to block this A site. Colchan watching over with an M8. He's going to just back on up. And, looks like there's going to be a call for a rotation from H2K towards B.
Yeah, now the player actually on the B site for TSM, he backed all the way up towards mid. I believe might have seen one crossing, so
and look,
gotta think TSM
he's
knows.
Worried he can't go back into sight. You can see him playing this angle right here. There's no way he runs on
look how far away H2K is playing this. They're just kind of waiting for one player on TSM to get a little antsy and push up, and it might actually be Pac-Man.
Pac-Man's going to slowly begin to peek towards middle map. He could potentially get behind these players as...
That one player is actually using an HC.
Back of the map. What's that? That was actually going to be... Leave Lacefield peeking on up. Did he see Pac-Man in the window? Doesn't appear so. Weeds putting some shots down. Still a 4v4.
Pac-Man's going to die.
Legal's going to get the kill onto Pac-Man, shooting him in the back. Weeds is going to try to retake the site. He knows there's a player in this left corner. This could wind up working out so well for TSM. He gets one. Pops the heat wave. It's not going to connect, but he still gets the kill. Now it's a 2-on-2. Colchan Pushes towards Red Room. They know where he's at. They body stack, though, and Cold Chain actually tags up both. Wheats, you need to act off this one. It's a 1v1. Cold Chain gets it again.
How many 1v1s is he won during this?
And TSM will win the round and tie the game 4-4. Cold Chan will earn active camo, I believe. Yes, he does. Matt,
Legal still has the dart.
I don't know what I'm
Legal still has the dart
Yep.
going into this next round, so maybe we see him use on defense.
That
They
was
almost,
key.
yeah, they almost get both taken out by Cold Chan over, and Hut, you see, comes over, flying over the top with the MR6.
Oh my God.
1 and 8 on Ivy. I mean, if he picks up some other kills, this is probably a game that's over.
Well,
already.
that's kind of what happened in game 2 when we talked about H2K. It was Legal who was 0-4, then he got 6 straight kills to close out that match.
Yeah.
Now, if Ivy does something similar here, you know, yes, he's been in charge of kind of carrying that bomb. You think TSM will be able
Who's
to
going
take
all
it?
the way on that flank down at the bottom? It looks
That's
like
Lacefield.
Lacefield. He's actually fighting this straight up, so he's going to back down. But
Cold Chain has camo again. The bomb now being inched up. This has happened every offensive round for TSM as, I don't know, I'm still not sold on this setup from H2K. They'll throw out a flash. That'll get
they
shut
know the
down.
trophy's there, so now he has no flashes. How do you
How do you go
attack
for this
this?
retake?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Pac-Man watching over middle map. I mean, I love this setup currently from H2K. They're going to throw down the Psychosis. TSM, or H2K won't get baited into this. Ivy slowly beginning to peek. He's got the help of a teammate here, and now comes the time for the retake from H2K. Fizzerv slowly inches up. 1 kill. Does Fierce get the trade? It doesn't appear so. Cold Chan will pop camo in middle map. Gonna be a 1v3. Lacefield last alive, and he'll get cleaned up. TSM now 1 round away, Matt, from winning this series and
Unbelievable.
shocking both of us.
Unbelievable. It would be a huge win for this team. A win that they, I don't want to say desperately need, but they definitely need, I think, at least in my opinion, to stay in the relegation hunt. To stay in the, actually to get out of relegation. Or,
Yeah.
But, wow.
This is just
This is kind of,
ridiculous. Legal.
yeah, insane.
Very close to this active camo. If I'm H2K, I mean, I feel like I've got to use the dart here. It's a must-win round, right? They haven't
Yeah.
brought it in as of yet.
Well, on the offensive side, it's kind of difficult to
No,
use. You got to have
it
somebody
is.
protect you, and
One big thing to point
Well,
out
look
is
at this.
TSM going for the 3-man
Well-
push, and everyone's here for H2K. This push is just completely falling
yeah,
apart.
that might have been in reaction to them having a dart.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, if they use the dart, we're able to run into the spawn, kill them pretty
Oh,
quick,
no.
and they don't use the dart. Cold Chan
He's gonna
trying to make
die.
a play in the water.
He's
He's dead. This is a
1v4.
round 11.
Now, things to look at.
It's a round 11.
Camo ready. Lacefield, 1 kill from his heat wave if he plants his bomb. He's
Who-
got it.
Who
Fizzerv
has,
almost
who has more
overdrive.
utility? Let's look on the side of TSM. We can look, even though some of their players are
That's
dead.
it.
Actually, now we
So
can't.
here, 21, 23, 28, 16, 26. Yeah, wow. Okay, H2K 100% have defense. As a 2 of 10 from Ivy is not helping TSM's case in regards to having more kills. This is a round 11, folks, in this slugfest between TSM and H2K. 2 teams just narrowly outside of that relegation zone. On defense will be H2K. They've got camo. They've almost got heat wave. They've almost got vision pulse. They've almost got overdrive. On the other side of things, TSM almost have glitch. And maybe they'll earn themselves a heat wave as well.
They're
It's
going to
going to be
challenge.
an A-side
Yeah,
call.
they're going to challenge Lacefield over here today.
Lacefield's just going to hop right in the water.
Which is, I mean, it's a smart play by Lacefield.
This
But
exact play
this
almost
is
happened
not
to me
how
last
he's
night.
played it every round.
Yeah.
So TSM's probably thrown off a little bit. They probably think A is completely open. Are we going to see the dart come
I'm
out?
wondering if he hears them, though. Does he wind up hearing the players behind him? It doesn't appear so as of yet. They haven't checked. Oh, this plant position, too, could work out so well. Lacefield not going to check it. And it's because they play so far back. Lacefield will get first blood. He does earn heat wave as well. A 4v3, but the bomb still needs to be defused.
You have a
TSM,
ton of time if you're H2K.
it's time to clutch up. Pac-Man spots Lacefield.
Oh,
But the clutch is
clutch.
used! With heat wave as well. Both specials being brought down. Pac-Man stays alive. He'll spot the second player as well. It's going to be a 1v3. Lacefield last alive. And TSM win the map and the series. They clutch up in Game 5 in what was a ridiculous round 11.
What'd you say about Pac-Man's glitch before the series?
I said round 11, Pac-Man, you make a game-winning play. It happens right there.
Pac-Man
Base-
made Jack's life.
He did! I need to send him a
Unbelievable.
love letter. I've never been so in love with another human being in my entire
Unbelievable.
life.
He gets heat wave. He's able to glitch
Oh.
out of that. And
Oh,
then you just see the
Pac-Man.
kills just start to rack up for TSM as they win a
Wow.
huge game in terms of their season against H2K.
And
you
now
see
they're
it brings
both
them
7 and 10.
both to 7 and 10. Team Caliber going up against FaZe right now. That's one where TK can get to 6-11 potentially. We got Luminosity going up against Rise next here on this stream. That's one where they can get to, you know, 8, and when we said 8-9 wins might be the number, I don't know if that's going to be enough. One of these teams you think is going to get to 9 wins, 10 wins.
Wow.
Elevate's not completely out of the woods yet either. I mean, they lose that game at a 9-8.
Where did Pac-Man even end up after that glitch? In
no
middle
idea.
map
I
somewhere?
don't think it really even mattered.
Who
as long
even
as you
knows?
didn't die.
14-6 from
Yeah.
Colchan for the win. Weeds 10-8. They had Ivy go 2-11, and TSM
We never
are
saw
still
the dart.
moving. Yeah, I think it was. I think it might have actually been called in though in that final round,
Yeah.
and he just crashed it. Like he deliberately blew it up so he could try to retake. Because
Gotcha.
Lacefield gets first blood. You want to utilize that number advantage to trade efficiently. Instead, it all falls apart once Pac-Man glitches out of that heat wave. Think of that. Lacefield heat wave Pac-Man. Pac-Man either gets that kill there or he glitches out, and instead of Lacefield being able to retake the
If I'm
room with
Ivy,
it,
I spend the rest of the night telling Colchan and Weeds how good they are.
yeah, you just start gassing
Like,
them up.
man, you guys were great. It's
Jesus,
like I played
man.
really good map 1.
You guys did the
Map
rest.
2, I played really good. I played a pretty good series overall, but man, that game 5, you guys were special.
Wow. Incredible stuff. What a pleasure to cast. TSM wins it. Game 5, round 11. Off the back of Colchan's 14 kills. Guys, that's going to do it for series number 1. Up next, another match just as important for these bottom 6 teams. Luminosity going up against Rise Nation. We'll see you there.